We welcome you. Live coverage of KBVO's Football Day in Central Texas is brought to you by Thomas J. Henry Injury Attorneys. We welcome you inside the UFCU broadcast booth. Joe Taylor, John Nidell, Abe Garcia in a moment. And it is going to be a raucous crowd. Great night for high school football here in the Alamodome.
And it's a great matchup between two outstanding running backs who are going to play at the next level. Nakia Watson for Westlake. And how about Brendan Brady for Steele? These defenses are going to be tested tonight.
Westlake has won the toss. They will defer. And defensively speaking, Abe Garcia, Braden Cassidy is back in business.
And one of the things we're going to look out for, he's got a little extra padding on that foot. So be on the lookout for that. But he said he's 100% ready to go for this game, guys.
We are underway immediately. Kicked off here as Caden Stearns will bring it out. And he is immediately corralled at the 22-yard line. As, once again, Thomas J. Henry Injury Attorneys, available 24/7, nights and weekends. Thomas J. Henry and Injury Attorneys, a proud sponsor of KBVO Television. Central Texas Football Day in San Antonio, as we get a look at the Westlake defense first. And, of course, the Steele offense. And it's that 4-2-5 look for Tony Salazar's crew. William Robertson, David Neal, Trellis Collins, Braden Cassidy are the men up front. David Dickerson and Jake Ellinger are the linebackers. Russo, Jones, Kelly, Luther, and Sams in the defensive backfield. The first carry of the ball game goes to Brendan Brady, the 5'11", 195-pound senior, and he works his way up past the 25-yard line to the 27. Good gain there, out past the 25, as Braden Cassidy makes the tackle.
That's the matchup right there, right up in the middle with Brendan Brady and then the freshman, Wyatt Beagle. You got to force Steele into passing situations and force the freshman to beat the Chaparrals.
It's a 5-yard pickup here. Sage Luther showing blitz. Pass over the middle. That pass caught by Daniel Jackson. Jackson can't hang on to it as the collision at the 30-yard line, and colliding there, Connor Kelly and Jake Ellinger on that stop of Jackson jarred the ball loose, and it's incomplete. Already 3rd and 5 for the Steele Knights. They are dressed in their road white jerseys, the white jersey tops, white pants, the black numerals, the black helmet with the Steele logo on one side and the numbers on the other side. The uniform numbers, Westlake in their red uniforms with the white numerals, the silver pants, and the silver helmets. On 3rd and 5, big down. Here's the carry to Brendan Brady. Brady breaks into the open field, still on his feet, out past the 35 to the 41-yard line, out to the 42. A good run for Brendan Brady, and they convert to the Knights on the first 3rd down opportunity to pick up a 15 yards and a 1st down. Sage Luther on the stop.
Yeah, just all sorts of room there on the left side of the offensive formation. And the safeties in the corner there for Westlake had to come up and make that stop. But a great 3rd down conversion for the Steele Knights early in this game.
1st down and 10 at the Steele 42-yard line. The ball on the left hash here if you're listening on the Westlake Shap app and on AM 1300 The Zone. Handoff, Brady, not much room there as they collapse, do the Chaparrals up front, and they get to him immediately. Keaton Jones coming up out of his corner position to help and run stoppage there. It's a gain, actually no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 coming up for Steele.
And Trellis Collins is a guy in the middle there for the Westlake defense. Big defensive tackle, has gotten more and more time as the season has gone on. And today in the 4-man front, a lot of times Westlake will play a 3-man front against passing spread teams. Today, with Trellis Collins in the middle, that's going to be the key for the Chaparrals, being able to bottle up that running game with Brendan Brady in the middle. 2
wide receivers, 2 Onyx. Actually, it's Brendan Brady as the cornerback, and he drops the snap. And this is a huge loss, as a wildcat formation fails miserably here for the Steele Knights, as unfortunately Brendan Brady had to corral it. It's a big loss of 13 yards on the play. Brady had to corral the football on the bad snap, and he gets the ball down towards the 29-yard line. William Robertson there on the stop.
A nightmare situation now. We talked about the freshman quarterback, Wyatt Beagle, needing to, Westlake needs to force him to beat him. Well, that's how you do it right there. 3rd down and very long here for the Steele Knights.
Ball resting on the Steele 29-yard line after that errant snap. Now Beagle in the backfield, going to look to just run it, and he gets tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Big surge, and just like that, the Chaparrals have turned the Steele offense away. It's punting time for the Knights. David Neal, the owner of not only the single-season sack record, but also the career sack record, is in on that stop. No gain on the play, and it's 3rd down, and like John said, a very long 22-yard punt.
And they do not ask Wyatt Beagle to do too much within this offense. They want him to stay within the scheme. That's why he has a 74% completion percentage. Right there, 3rd and long, early in the football game. Don't take any chances with the freshman quarterback. Just quarterback draw and force the punt.
So Brendan Brady actually does the punting. It'll be a fair catch by Matthew Sams. And that's where Westlake will start, right at its own 32-yard line. As the first quarter is brought to you by McDonald's. Kick up the flavor with one of McDonald's signature crafted recipes on Texas toast, like the new Swiss mushroom melt sandwich. I'm loving it. I love that Texas toast, and I love this Texas football. You're watching live coverage on KBVO television. You're listening to us live on Sports Talk AM 1300 The Zone in Austin. You're listening to us live also on the Westlake Shap app, and you can listen online on your desktop or laptop at westlakeshaps.com. Two wide receivers each way here for the Chaparrals on offense. For Taylor Anderson, first drive of the game for Westlake, and the first handoff will go to Nakia Watson. Watson surging forward past the 35 out to the 36-yard line. And for the Steele Knights, it is Cubby Johnson, the defensive end, that knocks him down, but a big gain there. 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 6 for Nakia Watson and the Westlake offense.
That's where the Steele Knights defense is vulnerable up front to a power running game.
Here's the snap. Option play here. Anderson's going to keep it across the 40 and very close to a first down as he dives forward past the 43 out to the 44-yard line. And it's a first down run for Taylor Anderson. The chains move. So Westlake and Steele both getting first downs in their first 3 plays and to extend their drive. Steele punted. Now it's Westlake turn. No score. Opening quarter with 8:15 to play here in the Region 4 final. Handoff. Nakia Watson with running room. Trips over the 45-yard line. As he tries to step over blockers there, gets tripped up at the 47. Chase Cromartie, the free safety, comes up and makes the tackle, mainly touches Nakia Watson as he hit the ground. Nonetheless, it's a 3-yard gain for Nakia. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Going back to the option play, that's where Taylor Anderson has improved. The decision-making in the running game, how quickly he makes decisions, it makes him look a lot faster on the field, and he's just evolved in his junior season.
Now the play action, back to pass, here comes the rush. Taylor trying to improvise, rolls right across the 45, steps out of one tackle at midfield, and he gets hit out of bounds, and the flag comes in front of the Westlake bench. This might be against Steele, as it could be a late hit out of bounds. But how about the improvisational skills of Taylor Anderson as Jalen Reed delivers the blow out of bounds?
Yeah, he used the football here, I think, to keep himself up. You see it there. Great job, great balance by Taylor Anderson. And you're going to see at the 49-yard line, a late hit out of bounds right at the end of the play. And that'll be an extra 15 yards. Perfect start here early in this first quarter. 1 first down for Steele, and then Westlake forces the punt. And now they are looking at having this ball at the 34-yard line.
Personal foul, number 4 on the defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, the personal foul is actually going to be against the corner. Now they've corrected it. It is Jalen Reed, not Xavier Player. Our referee is Mike Atkinson. Our umpire is Bill Stevens. Head linesman is Steve Perota. The line judge is John Ferris. The side judge is Bob Hubble. The field judge is Brian Raines. And the back judge is Chuck Corney. That's our officiating crew here at the Alamodome for the Region 4 final in the 6A Division II bracket. Cy-Fair, the victor earlier. That will be the matchup of the winner of this ball game. On first down and 10, that's a Jake Ramus catch. And Jake Ramus fumbles the football, and it is Steele's football. They've recovered it. And across the 40, out to the 45, to the 50, down the right sideline. Still trying to get his feet in bounds, and does. And that is the man that was called for the flag that recovered the fumble. Caden Stearns jarred the ball loose from Ramus. Jalen Reed gets it and returns it down to the Chaparral 44-yard line. A big turnover there. There is your ABC Home and Commercial Services instant replay. As you can see, Caden Stearns, the University of Texas commit, jarring the ball loose from Jake Ramus. Ramus's first fumble of the season, and Reed picks it up and goes the other way. So a little bit of fireworks here for the Steele Knights. No score as they take possession in good field position after the game's first turnover. Now the handoff going to Brady. Brady running right side across the 35, 30, down the right sideline, inside the 20 to the 10, and now he is dragged out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. In fact, they're going to not mark him out right at the 1-yard line. Nope, they're going to say the 3-yard line. Finally, they get the spot there as they had it at the 1. Now they moved it back out to the 3. That is first and goal Steele at the 3-yard line. Connor Kelly catches him from behind and drags him out of bounds.
Boy, what a shot in the arm was that fumble and return, and then a big run by Brendan Brady, and this game has flipped quickly. Momentum here early in the first quarter.
First and goal, Brendan Brady gets the call, breaks to the outside, and he is in from 3 yards out. Touchdown Steele. Turnovers into points, and Brady is into the end zone. Touchdown Steele.
And that's the one thing that can do in this Westlake team here tonight is turnovers. They have stayed away from the turnover bug for the most part this season. And right there, 7 points off turnovers for Steele. And like I said, momentum quickly back over to the Steele sideline.
Matthew O'Brien, who is 43 of 44 on extra points tries, will have Onyx Smith hold for him. Deep snapper is Zachary Da Silva. Eyes this extra point try. Low snap here, and O'Brien able to get it up and good. So, with 7:04 to play here in the first quarter, it's Steele 7, Westlake 0. This is Westlake football. Today's game brought to you by Southwest Kia. The Kia Stinger is a 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year finalist. Come into either location to see for yourself during Southwest Kia's year-end clearance event. We welcome you back. A big scoring drive off a turnover, a fumble by Jake Ramus. 2 plays, 44 yards, 15 seconds off the clock here in the first quarter, and a 3-yard touchdown run by Brendan Brady. His 25th rushing touchdown of the season brings O'Brien on for the ensuing kickoff. So what do we learn, kids? We learned that turnovers can turn into points quickly with high-caliber offenses. Now Sage Luther's going to take a knee in the back of the end zone here, right on the A of UTSA. And it'll be a touchback here for Westlake. And after a turnover, it's all about how you answer, John. That's what Westlake has to do here. They have to answer and answer immediately.
Well, they've been in this situation before. They were down 10 points in the first half to Smithson Valley a couple of weeks ago. And one thing this Westlake team will not do is panic, especially when with the way they were moving the ball there in that first drive. They were doing fine on the ground. It's just the turnovers will hurt you, but certainly no panic on the Westlake sideline at all.
Of course, we mentioned that FloSports.com, the website streaming our broadcast. So we are literally a multimedia platform all on our own today. On the radio, on the stream, on TV, but Nakia Watson getting the first carry here, and he gets a yard out past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 here. As we talked to Nakia Watson as part of our Shop of the Week interviews a few weeks ago, and his main mantra, he doesn't talk much, but if he ever says anything to this team, John, it's exactly what you just said: don't panic. And no doubt that will be the mantra for the leaders here for the Westlake offense. 3 wide receivers to Taylor Anderson's right, 1 to his left. Nakia Watson to his right, moving left to right. 6:31 to play here in the first quarter. Steele up 7-0. Back to pass on the play action. Looking left, and that pass is incomplete and almost intercepted. You saw 2 Steele defenders, both Cromartie and Stearns, kind of collide. If one of them had said, I got it, we might have seen another interception. And we're already seeing the talent of this secondary for the Steele Knights.
Yeah, and it was Javion Cardwell there coming back. He kind of baited Taylor Anderson a little there in some zone coverage, and dropped back and almost picked that football off. 3rd down now for Westlake.
3rd down and 9, 2 wide receivers each way here. Watson to Taylor Anderson's right. Back to pass. Here comes the blitz. Taylor stepping up, running out of room, fires over the middle. That pass is incomplete. Intended for Tate Young over the middle, and Taylor didn't throw it when he wanted to. Delivered a little earlier via the pressure of the Steele Knights. So it's punting time here for Westlake as they are unable to move the ball offensively downfield. Bit of shell shock right now.
Yeah, give the credit there, though, to Juan Henry and Cubby Johnson, the 2 defensive ends for Steele. They collapsed the pocket on the outside. They beat the Westlake tackles and forced Anderson to throw it, and he was hit as he was throwing the football to Mangum.
So a first opportunity to punt the ball away here, and Lozano delivers a traditional punt that spirals in the air. and calling to get away from the football. It's corralled at the 29-yard line there by Doak Wilson, who incidentally is our Chap of the Week. If you're listening to live coverage on the radio on AM 1300 The Zone, 96.5 FM here inside the Alamodome. And, of course, on the Westlake Chap app, you will hear that interview live. Of course, if we're watching television, we'll have a halftime recap for you and update you on what happened earlier this afternoon. McCallum and Cal Allen, and, of course, Lake Travis and O'Connor. This is the nightcap as we welcome you to live coverage on KBVO television. Joe Taylor, John Nidell, Abe Garcia is down on the sidelines. We'll get to him momentarily. 3 wide receivers to Wyatt Beagle's left. He's got a back to his left, and the handoff will be to Brendan Brady. Brady getting a surge there of 3 yards up past the 32-yard line to the 33. Inside 6 minutes to play. 7-0 Steele with a fumble recovery. Reed recovers the fumble forced by Caden Stearns and returns it to the Westlake 42-yard line. They get down the field in a hurry to score a touchdown, and that's the difference in the ballgame. 7-0 now, and all kinds of flags. They finally fly now, and this is going to be most likely a false start against Steele.
False start. Number 24 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
That's DeQuavion Thomas, who is in the backfield there, who was called for the false start. He started moving in the backfield. That explains the confusion. Everybody was looking up front to the offensive line, and the movement was actually in the backfield. So it'll be second down and 12 here. A little wishbone look here, and the handoff will go straight up the right side. This is Brady. Brady getting the call across the 32 out to the 33, and he'll be down just shy of the 35-yard line. So good gain there. Along the right hash mark there, getting the call is Brady. And you can see just tough running there as Sage Luther, David Dickerson, all on the big back, headed to Rice.
Well, he's not as big as Nakia Watson, but you see the power in the legs right there, dragging Braden Cassidy for an extra couple of yards. 3rd down and 6 now for the freshman quarterback in the Steel Knights.
Another big 3rd down opportunity here. 2 wide receivers. Here comes Connor Kelly on the blitz. They roll it outside. That pass is caught by Onyx Smith, but he had to go backwards to catch it at the 37-yard line. So this is about 2 yards shy of the first down. And he falls down at the 38-yard line, and that's where the ball will be placed, and it's punting time again for the Steel Knights. So a good defense hold there. Let's go down to the sidelines at Abe Garcia.
Guys, you're talking about, John talked about the X factor, Wyatt Beagle for them. The X factor is Taylor Anderson, one of the hottest quarterbacks in the playoffs, 18 touchdowns overall. He's actually even caught a touchdown pass, a true triple threat. He was over on the sideline getting his offense ready to go. He's ready to go back on the field, guys.
That's Abe Garcia down on the sidelines, and that report brought to you by Texas Urban Realty. A short punt here, and it takes a big chaparral bounce away from the special teams. So this will be good field position here as a break for Westlake as the ball is finally downed by Cromartie at the 44-yard line. Not much to smile about if you're a Westlake fan down 7-0, but there is something to smile about given the current field position. And, of course, our Smile Cam presented to you by Smiles by Garcia. Smiles by Garcia, cosmetic dentistry serving the Westlake area. Proud sponsors of the Smile Cam here on KBVO TV's coverage of high school football, Central Texas Football Day in the Alamodome. 2 of the Austin Central Texas teams are in. Westlake trying to be the 3rd of the afternoon and evening. 2 wide receivers each way here for Taylor Anderson. 7-0 Steele with the lead. Handoff goes to Nakia Watson, searching for some room, still on his feet, and he's finally brought down. Forward progress there, stopped at the 37-yard line. Or excuse me, the 47-yard line. That's a pickup of 2 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 8 here. Stop made by Noel Rodriguez, weak side linebacker, coming up and leading the charge against Watson. 2 wide receivers each way here. Taylor Anderson with Watson to his right. They're going to roll the pocket right on an option play here, looking for the pitch now. Anderson's going to run. Anderson across midfield into Steele territory out of the 44-yard line, and it's going to set up 3rd and 1. A 7-yard pickup for Taylor Anderson, and it's very close to a first down. It's the ABC Home and Commercial Services instant replay, and you can see he is very close. John, we might have seen there kind of a short spot, but nonetheless, it's about a yard away.
A great decision, too, on the option to cut it up the field.
2 wide receivers to the left, handoff. Nakia Watson. Watson straight up the gut, has the first down, and then absolutely stuck by Caden Stearns. There's the matchup we were looking for in the open field as Stearns knocks him down. But the chains move for Westlake as Nakia Watson gets down to the 42-yard line in Steele territory.
And the key in this game is going to be, as this game wears on, are those safeties and linebackers going to be as willing to come up and make tackles on Nakia Watson? He punishes guys, and usually the defense wears down in the third and fourth quarter.
On first down and 10, they roll the pocket now. Anderson going deep downfield into single coverage, getting the step. Nicely done there defensively as the ball is incomplete. And the coverage was there the entire time from Xavier Player. The 5'11", 170-pound senior, 36 total tackles. A tackle behind the line of scrimmage. He has 2 picks as well. And he was step for step with the receiver, Mason Mangum, downfield. Incomplete. It'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, this secondary is by far the strength, in addition to Brendan Brady on offense, the strength of this Steel Knights team. And Westlake will test them tonight, but so far up to the challenge.
7-0 your score here in the first quarter with 2:39 to play. Handoff goes to Nakia Watson. Watson with running room. Runs over Stearns this time as he rumbles for a first down. Nakia Watson inside the 30, down to the Steel 29. First down, Westlake.
That was an angry run right there from Nakia Watson. You're not going to hold him to short gains all game. And I'm feeling Watson and Stearns are going to get to know each other tonight.
First down and 10 with 2:25 to play in the opening quarter. 7-0. Steele with the lead. Westlake with the ball just inside the 30-yard line at the Steele 29. 3 wide receivers to the left of Taylor Anderson. 1 to his right. We see Kerry Andrea line up as a slot receiver to the left. Watson to his right. Now Anderson looking to throw here. Has time. Good protection downfield. Now Anderson's going to have to run. He finds Nakia Watson out of the backfield for a first down. Stearns, no, make that. Jalen Reed is there to escort him out of bounds. But Nakia Watson picks up the first down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. And just like that, the Shaps are inside the Raising Cane's red zone. First and 10, Westlake.
And if you've never seen Nakia Watson play football, he is an all-around back. Going to the University of Wisconsin, Paul Christ is getting a good one. He can run, he can catch out of the backfield. And hopefully tonight we'll get to see him pass protect, because he has lit up some guys this year in the backfield.
Ball's on the right hash mark here on first down and 10. Inside 2 minutes to play first quarter. Westlake driving. Now on the play action. Nice job there on the zone read, rather, as Taylor Anderson works his way down inside the 15-yard line to the 14. A good gain of 4 yards on the play there, and it's second and 6. The Chaparrals can pick up the first down inside the 9-yard line for a first and goal opportunity.
And guess who made the tackle? Caden Stearns. He is a sure tackler in space, and that's really going to be a fun matchup as we continue on in this game. 2
wide receivers each way here as Nakia Watson lines up to Taylor's right. On second and 6, here's the snap. The handoff goes to Watson. Watson corralled immediately, shakes off one tackler, can't shake off another, just moves his pads forward. And that's what both of these backs do well. That's a 2-yard pickup, make it a 3-yard pickup, as he had really nowhere to run to. Brady and Watson do it better than most at the high school level by keeping their pads forward and falling forward for that extra yard to set up third and 4. Inside a minute to play first quarter. 7-0 Steele. Joe Taylor, John Nidell, Abe Garcia with you on KBVO TV. 2 wide receivers left here. Big third down play here for Westlake. And they hand it off to Watson. Watson trying to elevate his way down to the 9 into the 8-yard line, and it looks like he has picked up the first down. The clock will stop with 46 seconds to play in the first quarter, and that is a first down as Mike Atkinson says so. Alex Allenby, the team's leading tackler for the Knights, makes the stop, but not before Nakia can pick up the first down, and it's first and goal Westlake.
And Nakia does not fall backwards. When he gets hit, he goes forward and able to pick up the 4 yards, just barely, to bring up first and goal for the Westlake offense, trying to answer that touchdown by Steele, which came off the turnover earlier in the first quarter.
25 seconds with the clock moving here. The ball resting on the right hash mark here at the 8-yard line. First and goal. Here's the snap to Anderson. Anderson looking, now has to run. Big running room. Makes a stutter step at the 5-yard line and covers up that football. And they will give him positive yardage to the 5, so it's officially a pickup of 3 yards, and it'll be second and goal from the 5.
And he's taking some shots right now that we really haven't seen him take. He's an elusive guy, and it's rare that teams get a clear, clean shot on him, but they are getting some shots on Taylor Anderson right now.
That will do it for the first quarter of play. Here from the Alamodome in San Antonio, it's Steele 7, Westlake nothing. This is Westlake football. KBVO's Football Day in Central Texas, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry Injury Attorneys, available 24/7, nights and weekends. And of course, bringing you live coverage on television, KBVO TV. We're live inside the Alamodome. Joe Taylor, John Nidell, Abe Garcia down on the sidelines. Our social media producer is Tyler Nidell. Our spotter is Jacob Dedamore. Our engineer, our broadcast engineer inside the booth here is Casey Johns. Two wide receivers to the left of Taylor Anderson as they flip it, now moving right to left on your television screen. The handoff will go to Nakia Watson on 2nd and goal. Spins out of a tackle and races into the end zone. Touchdown Westlake. Nakia Watson from 5 yards out. After first contact, he spun out of it, pulled a Madden move as he's in from 5 yards out. Touchdown Westlake. And for the senior tailback, that is touchdown number 25. So he, along with Brendan Brady, both have a touchdown here. Seconds into the first quarter, and Gabo Lozano is on for the extra point.
Yeah, those defenders got sucked inside there, and there was a nice hole, and Nakia Watson just spun off the Steele Knights into the end zone. This is going to be offsides here on the extra point.
The extra point try is good. We're tied at 7 with 11:55 to play here in the second quarter. This is Westlake football. The second quarter is brought to you by McDonald's. Kick up the flavor with one of McDonald's signature crafted recipes on Texas toast, like the new Swiss mushroom melt sandwich. I'm loving it. Of course, the local owners of Central Texas McDonald's. A lot of you may not know, but used to do some work for the Ronald McDonald House. And these are all locally owned and operated McDonald's franchises. Got to meet a lot of those folks over the years. And they're proud sponsors of today's broadcast, Central Texas Football Day in the Alamodome. McCallum victorious, moving on to the state semifinal. Lake Travis victorious over O'Connor in the afternoon kickoff. And now Westlake and Steele tied at 7. Here's the kickoff. It'll be fielded by Stearns here as he's out past the 15 to the 25-yard line to the 30, out to the 40. Only one man to beat, and he does know that. Good job there by Lozano as he's able to corral him so Keaton Jones could redirect, but a big return all the way back to the 40-yard line. And John, perhaps a missed penalty there on the kickoff return team.
Yeah, it looked like a block in the back. Right at the point of attack, you saw the Westlake player dive into the ground. He got pushed right in the back at the 20. I don't know how those officials missed it, but a big play for Steele.
A 10-play, 55-yard scoring drive. Took 4 minutes and 16 seconds for the Westlake Chaparrals to tie this ball game up. A 5-yard rushing touchdown by Nakia Watson, his 25th of the season. But a big return from the 4-yard line to the 40 for Caden Stearns. And that's where the Steele Knights will start with a short field. 3 wide receivers to Beagle's left. Meacham, the tight end, going from the slot position. Now a handoff on a sweep, and Stearns coughed up the football. The football is loose, but it looks like Steele might have jumped on the ball and kept possession. There's a fight for it. So we will hold everything here. Tyron Smith may have recovered the fumble, and that is exactly who recovered the fumble, is Tyron Smith. So it will be Steele ball after the Steele Knight faithful took a big sigh of relief there as everyone holding their breath on the visitor side. 2 wide receivers will line up to Wyatt Beagle's right. In the backfield with him is Brendan Brady, and flags fly here. And Beagle gets hit by Braden Cassidy, but there was absolutely nothing he could do. And now some of the Steele players come in and actually hit. And now David Dickerson, everybody A bit of a scrum here, and I'm not too sure. Tyler Lumpkin was the one that came in and threw down David Dickerson. Dickerson actually gave him a shove. So we'll have to see exactly what happens here. And it's never a good sign, John, when referees or officials' hats fly.
Yeah,
that means somebody's about to get thrown out of the game.
I don't know if we're going to see an ejection. I don't think there were any punches thrown. But Cassidy hit the quarterback after the play, but he didn't quite know that the play was over. So you saw him, as they were going to the ground, try to hold up Beagle at the last second. There was not a flag for that hit. That's when Steele came in and tried to get some revenge on Cassidy. You see he's getting pushed off. It came a little later after that. And then there was some extra business behind the play as well. So I think we're probably going to get offsetting penalties, but we will see.
Mike Atkinson will tell us.
There are 2 fouls on the play. False start. Number 50 on the offense. Will penalize 5 yards. The second foul, dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 33 on Westlake. 15-yard penalty. That is his first unsportsmanlike conduct and automatic first down.
So it'll be an automatic first down here for Steele.
I don't know. I mean, there were guys clearly going after Braden Cassidy and were standing over him and holding him on the ground. I don't know how there's not an offsetting unsportsmanlike on the play, but I did see what Dickerson did behind the play.
Yeah, Dickerson threw down Lumpkin, but it wasn't after 2 Steele players actually hit Cassidy on the ground after he was trying to cradle the quarterback like you described, John. But nonetheless, it's a net of 10 after it's all said and done. It's a 5-yard penalty, then a 5-yard penalty, and then a 15-yard penalty. So either way you slice it, it's first down and 10, and the ball is on the Chaparral 26-yard line. Handoff will go to Brady, who's running right. Spins out of one tackle, but a good job there by Matthew Sams to keep it right there. He could have stepped out of that tackle, but Sams able to trip him up at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, it's important to play disciplined, fundamental football and tackling when you're playing against Brendan Brady. Very slippery, fast running back. But other than that 140-yard gain he had, Westlake's playing great defense.
It's only a gain of 1 on the play as he ran right behind blockers. He just could not get out of Sams' grasp. So it's second down and 9. We're tied at 7 here. And now falling down is Wyatt Beagle. And he looked like he might have stepped, or one of his own offensive linemen might have stepped on him and tripped him up. So this will be a loss, as technically it'll go down as a quarterback sack, John, but he fell down as the ball was snapped to him, and it takes the ball back down to the 28-yard line on the right hash mark. So it'll be third down and 12 with 10 minutes straight up to play in the half, and we're all tied at 7.
Perfect situation for the Westlake defense, for that defensive line to pin their ears back and get after the freshman quarterback. We'll see if Steele elects to put their quarterback in a situation to throw it down the field.
9:45, the clock moving here in the first half. Third down and 12. Pistol formation here. Now Wyatt's back to pass. Fires downfield, and that pass is intercepted by Sage Luther. Luther with the interception, and it's Chaparral football at the 6-yard line. 1 turnover for Steele, and now another turnover for Westlake. And a driving team were the Steele Knights, and Westlake turns them away with Sage Luther's 2nd interception of the season.
And that's the gamble right there. Do you have your freshman quarterback drop back and throw it down the field? They do, and it was a short pass, underthrown ball, and Sage Luther, the sophomore defensive back, takes advantage and gives the ball back to Westlake at their own 6-yard line.
And, of course, Sage Luther, the late-game star, he had a pick 6 against Smithson Valley that really put the game away and put Westlake up by 17 points at that time. And now it's Westlake football. We're all tied at 7. Now play action. They swing it out here. Just a little quick screen pass over to Mason Mangum. And Mangum gets 5 yards for the effort out to the 11-yard line. So that's a quick strike pass, the first one we've seen from Taylor Anderson. Kind of a nice little option there for a run game pass.
Yeah, they got to get Taylor Anderson involved in the passing game. It's tough against this secondary. Quick passes are the solution, though, and they did it right there to Mason Mangum.
2nd and 5. Now the play action. Here comes the rush. Firing it is Taylor Anderson, and a flag's going to come in here. The catch is made by Mangum. Very similar route, but on the other side of the field. The pass is complete. It is a first down, but a flag is thrown.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 62. 5-yard penalty, replay, second down.
So the illegal man downfield is the call from Mike Atkinson, our referee here this afternoon. We've already seen a number of flags involved in this game, including a full-blown altercation at midfield. And the penalty yards here, 25 for Steele, 20 for the Westlake Chaparral. Steele with 3 penalties called on him. Westlake, that is their second. With 8:57 to play here in the first half, we're all tied at 7. 2 wide receivers each way here. Back to pass on 2nd down and 10 is Anderson. Tons of time, unloads. Ramus has the grab all the way out to the 25-yard line. That's a first down strike right there as Jake Ramus goes down to get it. First down Westlake, and a big gain there of 14 yards, and the chains move for Westlake. Now 3 wide receivers. Check that, 19 yards on the pickup there. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left here. Watson now will stay in pass protection. And Anderson going deep, downfield, challenging, and Ramus makes the grab. Did he stay in bounds? Yes, he did. Ramus with a huge catch, comes up limping, tosses it back. Now they're going to come in and confer, and they are going to say that right now, Ramus has the grab. That's a big catch for Jake Ramus. 37 yards and a first down as he hauls it in over Javion Cardwell. You take a look at the ABC Home and Commercial Services. Ooh, yep, there's a foot down. And that is complete. Heck of a catch by Ramus. Heck of a throw by Taylor Anderson. 2 wide receivers each way on 1st and 10 at the Steele 38-yard line. Here's the snap, the handoff. Nope, it's going to go to Taylor Anderson. And how about the tackling skills of one Jalen Reed? No gain on the play as he tackles a slippery Taylor Anderson in open field.
You see Michael Granson in the game right now at receiver. We have not seen much of him in the later part of the season. And he's in there.
Yeah, and we told you that Jake Ramus kind of came up a little gingerly there after that catch. But Granson, the junior, 8 catches, 84 yards, and a score is in at wide receiver. 2 Taylor Anderson's left. We're tied at 7. Now, Nakia Watson met at the line of scrimmage, but he falls forward. Vincent Natal-Roman, the defensive tackle on the stop, at 6'4", 250 pounds. And that's really your only matchup up front. If you're going to make the plays on Nakia Watson up front, you got to do it with your defensive tackles. But Nakia picks up a yard, and it's 3rd down and 9. Tate Young comes off the field, Kerry Andrio on the field. So it's Andrio and Granson to Taylor's left. Mangum to the right. Kreider and Watson in the backfield here for Taylor Anderson. On 3rd down and 9 in a tie ball game with 7:15 to play. Back to passes Anderson, looking over the middle of the field. Has Kreider! Kreider at the 10! Kreider at the 5! Kreider into the end zone! Touchdown Westlake! From 37 yards out, Kreider has his 4th receiving touchdown on his 15th catch of the season, and Westlake snags the lead on a 37-yard touchdown reception by Stephen Kreider.
And they just snuck Kreider in the gap in the defense, right over the middle, above the linebackers and away from the safeties. And you see Taylor Anderson sees it the entire way, and a perfect pass and a good run after the catch by Stephen Kreider.
Lozano on for the extra point. Kreider will hold. The kick is good. So with 7:06 to play here in the second quarter, it's Westlake 14, Steele 7. We'll be back to the Alamodome. This is Westlake football. We welcome you back to the Alamodome in San Antonio. 14-7 your score. KBVO's Football Day in Central Texas. Brought to you by Thomas J. Henry. Injured in an accident? Good news. Help has arrived. Thomas J. Henry is a personal injury law firm now serving Austin and the surrounding communities. Available 24/7 nights and weekends. Call Thomas J. Henry now at 512-817-1905. We're back live on KBVO TV, Sports Talk AM 1300 The Zone, the Westlake Shap app, westlakeshaps.com, and FloSports.com with a live television stream. Pick away, and you can enjoy this one. Lozano kicks it off, this time short at the 18-yard line, fielded there, and driven down immediately as a flag comes in on the back end of that play. Some jawing going on between two defenders there. It was Colin Swallow and Reed Vender on the stop of the young man that made the return, Tyron Smith. But it was the matchup between Tyler Lumpkin and Blake Chambers that drew the flag. So we'll have to see what this is all about. It'll be interesting to see if these actually offset, but this one actually might be against Steele on the personal foul.
Yeah, I think it may be an illegal block. We'll see.
A lot of laundry in this one early on as we listen in to Mike Atkinson's.
Number 18, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So it is an illegal block as Atkinson's mic's kind of off a little bit there, but you can see Smith corralled nicely there as Vender, and then Swallow comes in and wraps it up, but it's going to be a spot foul there, and it will move backwards as they mark it off. Average starting field position here for the Westlake Chaparrals as we see current University of Texas quarterback Sam Ellinger. And that's Riley Dodge to his right, of course, son of head coach Todd Dodge, taking in this ball game here as the lifetime Shap. Injury-riddled season a year ago after taking his team to the state championship game against North Shore in 2015. On for the opportunity here. Beagle fires a rifle. This one caught by Jackson, juggled it briefly, and he comes down with it. But good defense there by Keaton Jones. Jones able to corral him as Jackson hauled in the pass. It's good for a 4-yard gain. It'll be second down and 6 as the ball moves out to the 19-yard line.
And that's a good play on first down to keep Westlake honest on defense instead of just playing the run. But you don't want to make your living too much in the passing game if you're Steele.
Now they send Jackson in motion. They swing it out this way, and now that one is disturbed. It should be defensive. It should be offensive holding. It really should. And we saw that ball. The intended receiver was Onyx Smith. Smith had an opportunity, but that was, wow, I can't believe we didn't see flags there as Steele clearly holding the defender away from that football. If we have a chance to take a look at it on the ABC Home and Commercial Services replay, we'll see. But that was Tyron Smith that kind of held up the defender there.
And that's a touchdown for Connor Kelly.
Yeah.
There, that doesn't happen.
So with that, it's incomplete. Third down and 6. The ball at the 19-yard line. Now they're looking to swing it out. Same play. Here it is to Onyx Smith across the 20, out to the 21-yard line, and he's upended there by Sage Luther, who has an interception. And, of course, our victory bags by Kristen Chambers Designs. The Alamodome has a clear bag policy, and we shot it out to our friends at Kristen Chambers Designs to make sure you got yours in time for this game. They're proud sponsors of our scoring drive. 6 plays, 94 yards for the Westlake Chaparrals, capped by a 37-yard touchdown pass from Taylor Anderson to Stephen Kreider. 14-7, 5:48 to play here, and it's punting time for Steele. Back deep to receive is Matthew Sams. He's hovering around his 43-yard line. Here is Brady with the punt. Gets away a good one. And it'll be called for and dove for here by Matthew Sams. And to say it's been an adventure on the punt return team for the Westlake Chaparrals is not necessarily telling the entire story of the season, John, but Sam's able to dive and make the grab. And it's good field position here for the Westlake Chaparrals as they'll start with a 7-point lead with 5:32 to play. Let's go down to the sidelines and Abe Garcia.
Senior wide receiver Jake Ramos, he's getting a little treatment on his left knee. It looks like he's jogging. They put a sleeve on them. No ice, which is also very good news for him, guys.
Yeah, we'll see if he has to come back into the ball game here, but nonetheless, that's Michael Granson's opportunity to get into the ball game. But we're seeing Tate Young in the contest now, and looks like Ramos is back on the field, and he is. Lines up his wide receiver to Taylor Anderson's left. Part of a quartet. The ball comes out. Rolling right, improvising is Taylor Anderson, who picks up 5 yards out past the 46-yard line to the 40. Looks like they will actually say that he fell forward to the 49-yard line. So that is a 6-yard gain with 5:17 to play here in the first half.
And so far, Taylor, 7 carries, 32 yards. That was just a nice job there. He is a crafty junior. And it's just been great to see him grow and mature in his junior season. 2
wide receivers each way here on 2nd down and 4 from the Chaparral 49-yard line. Anderson back to pass, looking, fires over the middle. That pass caught by Ramos. Ramos has 1st down yardage, and another big catch over the middle by Westlake receivers. Good yardage down to the 32-yard line. The tackle made by Player and Reed in the defensive backfield, but a big gain and a 1st down into Steele territory, and Ramos good for a 19-yard catch. 3 wide receivers to the left. Up tempo goes the Chaps. Back to pass is Anderson. Has time. Fires down the middle. Over to the right side. That pass is incomplete as Taylor got away with one there. Streaking down the right sideline was Tate Young. And the corner in coverage was Xavier Player. And Player had that one eyed for an interception. Tate actually doing a good job of just making contact and jarring that ball away from Player. Otherwise, that's an easy interception. So it's incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
It's good to see Tate Young come back. He was out for a long time with concussion symptoms and came back last week. Good to have him out there. Great defensive play by Tate Young on that play.
3 wide receivers to the left. Now they run the read option here, and now beautifully run by Taylor Anderson. Anderson had room up the seam, and they bounced it out. Probably made the incorrect decision there as he had room up the seam. He bounced it outside, so a short gain. And we use this opportunity to mention our Southwest Kia sponsorship of today's game. The Kia Stringer is a 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year finalist. Coming to either location to see for yourself during Southwest Kia's year-end clearance event. Got a brand new Southwest Kia location opening up on the 183 frontage road just north of McNeil before Anderson Mill. Can't wait for that one to open. 2 wide receivers each way. Now running straight up the middle is Taylor Anderson. Anderson is going to be short here as he is down just outside the 31-yard line at the 32. Or excuse me, the ball's actually at the 27-yard line rather, not the 32-yard line. The 27 as Kreider checks into the ball game. The big 4th down decision here.
I think you're in an area where you go for it. Lozano has the leg to kick the field goal here, but 4th down and 5, they're going to keep the offense on the field, it looks like. And I'll tell you what, this is probably the best open field tackling that we've seen against Westlake this season, especially against Taylor Anderson.
Yeah, we've always went the Steele MO. Very well coached on the defensive side of the ball. And remember, Taylor can pooch punt. They're going to direct snap this on a misdirection play, but it sounds like whistles have been blown and flags have been thrown. So that play will not count as a little misdirection direct snap here.
Number 72 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. We play 4th down.
That's probably a good thing for Westlake. That play was, unless it was a pass, which it didn't look like it for Nakia Watson, that play was going nowhere.
So now it takes 4th and 5 back to 4th and 10, and now the ball's on the 32-yard line. Resting on the right hash mark as you watch it live on KBDO TV and listen live on AM 1300 The Zone back in Austin and the Westlake Chat app. Offense stays on the field. Now they're going to back it up into that pooch punt opportunity here for Taylor Anderson. Anderson still calling for the ball inside 5 seconds on the play clock. And he is going to, he's going to throw it. Looking over the middle of the field, and that pass is intercepted. It's intercepted by Steele. Javion Cardwell has his 4th interception of the season. And it's just as good as a pooch punt because it's actually worse field position here. Yes, it's an unfortunate blemish on Taylor Anderson's brilliant first half, but nonetheless, it's an interception here for the young man heading to Oklahoma State. There's a lot to smile for there as you get a look at it on the ABC Home and Commercial Services replay. Our Smile Cam brought to you by the good folks at Smiles by Garcia, and of course the national ranked Westlake cheerleaders on hand for this one here. So the final 2.5 minutes here in the first half. Westlake throws the interception. Trades field position here from the 15-yard line. David Dickerson makes the tackle here on Brady as Brady surges forward for about a 3-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Smith stays in the ball game here in the offensive personnel, but coming in is O'Brien. So Matthew O'Brien, who does have opportunities to get into the ball game at times. Little pistol formation here, and the handoff will go to Brady. Brady with good room on the left side falls forward. A lot of traffic there, but David Neal wrapping him up from the outside. And now one of the defenders goes down up front as contact was made. As Braden Cassidy once again winds up on the turf, no flag. But knows the football at the 25-yard line, so it's a good gain of 6 yards for Brady after they uncover the bodies there. It'll be 3rd and 1 at the 25-yard line. Same wishbone formation here. Beagle will hand off, and he goes nowhere, does Brady. In fact, he might have lost a yard behind the 25-yard line at the 24 to force 4th down. Big play and a timeout for Westlake. We will take it as well. Back in a moment. This is Westlake football. KBVO's Football Day in Central Texas brought to you by Thomas J. Henry. Injured in an accident? Good news. Help has arrived. Thomas J. Henry is a personal injury law firm in the greater Austin area. And that punt is muffed by Matthew Sams. And this is another turnover. So an interception. And now a fumbled punt. On 3rd and 1 after the Westlake Chaparrals stop him on defense. Steele gets another shot. And we said before the broadcast, John, that Westlake has a very good opportunity in this ball game if they don't make mistakes. Well, in the first half, that would be the 3rd turnover. A fumble by Jake Ramos, an interception by Taylor Anderson that set up that last drive for Steele. And now after the stop on 3rd and 1, you get a chance to get the ball back, you take a timeout, and you muff the punt and turn it back over to the Steele offense. So signs of life here from Steele, down 14-7 with 1:16 to play in the opening half. They send Onyx Smith in motion here. Beagle is back to pass, launching downfield. As a receiver, it's Stearns that's checked into the ball game, and it's incomplete. Covered there by Colin Swallow. Incomplete, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
What a big play in this game. 14-7 game. Westlake looking at an opportunity to maybe go up 2 scores, and now Steele, if they can move the football, which they have not been able to do outside of that 1 touchdown drive off the turnover. They only have 83 total yards of offense right now. Westlake 215 right now. So Steele's got to move this football to try to get some points on the board.
Pistol formation here. They hand it off to Brady. Brady with room, but he is tackled there, met hard by Dickerson, and then a slew of teammates come in and drive him backwards. But they give him forward progress, and Brady able to make his way and claim inside the 35-yard line down to the 34. So it's a gain of 4 yards on the play. 3rd down and 6 coming up here for the Westlake Chaparrals and the Steele Knights. Knights on offense have 45 seconds to work with and all 3 timeouts. Now, play action. Rolling right is Beagle. Beagle tosses to the end zone. It's a jump ball and great defense there by Colin Swallow as he knocks the ball away from Stearns. Incomplete, and it's 4th down. So the defense holds here. And how important is that play call for the Westlake Chaparrals? Beagle's decision, John, to launch it downfield does nothing for the field goal try here with 37 seconds. And now the Chaparrals have an opportunity to call a timeout during the drive if they're able to get this ball back.
2 timeouts left, and Steele's going to go for it here. They're at the 33-yard line, so we'll see what they draw up on 4th down.
3 wide receivers to the right. Beagle all by himself, and 5 wide receivers, 2 to his left. On 4th and 6, they run that direction. That pass is incomplete. It hits the ground, and a flag comes in. Onyx Smith came back to try to catch that ball, and a flag has come in, and this may be against Westlake. We'll have to see here who they charge it to. It might be an offensive pass interference here. It could be some push-up, but it's going to be on Keaton Jones most likely.
There was early contact, but it was not too severe, but he got the call anyway.
Pass interference. Number 13. First down.
Now you hear the Westlake faithful just below us. They didn't like it, and it's an automatic first down here, so Steele keeps the opportunity at 34 seconds. Luckily, it's a spot foul, so the ball only moves inside the 30-yard line to the 29. So it'll be first down and 10 here. 3 wide receivers to the right of Beagle, 1 to his left. He's got Brady to his left in the backfield. Or traditional shotgun. Here comes the blitz. It's tipped, but Brady catches it. Brady gets loose at the 20. Has the first down. Did he get out of bounds? Yes, he did, and that's a first down catch in the flat there for Brady as he gets ball to the 15-yard line. And Steele has called a timeout. We will take it as well. Back in a moment. This is Westlake football. We welcome you back to the Alamodome, live in San Antonio, Texas. 14-7, Westlake with the lead. 25 seconds remaining. Coming out of Steele's first charge timeout. They'll have an opportunity first and 10 at their own 15-yard line. Rolling right and throwing right. That pass caught by Smith. Smith angles left, angles right, and is tackled by William Robertson inside the 5-yard line, and that is good for a first down. A timeout's been called. We will keep it here. It'll be first and goal. Steele will take a second timeout as we welcome you back to live coverage on KBVO TV and on AM 1300 The Zone, or radio call in the Austin area. And right now, Steele with a huge opportunity, and here's how it all started. A 3rd and 1 play. Brendan Brady with the stop, and the Westlake Chaparrals hold after throwing an interception on 4th and 6. John then the punt out of the timeout for Westlake, who seemingly had a minute and 16 seconds to work with. Matthew Sams muffed the punt. The ball got away, recovered by Steele. Now Steele in business here offensively, trying to tie this ball game up. It's been a series of mistakes for the Westlake Chaparrals. 3 turnovers in the first half. But right now, they've been able to manage those mistakes and have a 7-point lead here. But Steele with an opportunity at point-blank range, first and goal from the 4.
And Steele has started 3 possessions this half in plus territory, in Westlake territory. So the fact that it's only 7 points on the board for Steele right now says something about the Westlake defense, but still 17 seconds to play. And this is going to be mano-a-mano right here inside the 5-yard line.
Man in motion here is Stearns. Handoff to Brady. No, it's a bootleg here to the near side, and Beagle's going to run it in for the score. Touchdown Steele from 4 yards out. Wyatt Beagle racing in for his first rushing touchdown of the season. In fact, only 26 carries. They sell out on Brady and a bootleg by Beagle, and he is into the end zone from 4 yards out. Touchdown Steele.
A great job of taking advantage of turnovers. That's the second fumble lost by Westlake and the second touchdown off the turnover for Steele.
O'Brien on for the extra point. It is up and good. So with 10 seconds to play here in the first half, we're all tied at 14. This is Westlake football.
At 8.
Yep. Courtesy of a Matthew Sams muffed punt. And we've seen Westlake, if there's a weakness, that is the weakness in the punt return game. And this time, that's the third time this season that Westlake has turned it over via the punt. O'Brien on to kick it off here. Final 10 seconds. It'll be fielded at the 1 yard line. Bringing it out is Tate Young. No, that's Kerry Andrio. Andrio about past the 20, still down the sidelines at the 30, after the 35, and he's brought down out of bounds with 3 seconds left. So there's time for one offensive play, but that's a big, big return. And they're going to say Kerry got all the way out to the 38-yard line. No, make that the 42-yard line. So that is a 41-yard return.
So the line judge is coming in and marking it at the 36. I guess his foot hit out of bounds.
Well, if his foot hit out of bounds at the 36-yard line, then there should have been a flag for late hit out of bounds. But nonetheless, they figured it out, have the officials here. So it will be a 35-yard return for Kerry Andrio, and time to probably take a knee and head to the locker room with a tie ball game here. An 8-play, 37-yard drive for Steele. Took 106 off the clock and a 4-yard run. So Steele's going to take a timeout. We will keep it here. You know, make sure you stay tuned for our halftime coverage on the radio and on our live audio stream. You'll hear our Shap of the Week, Doak Wilson. Normal radio broadcast here during halftime. And, of course, on television, we will bring you live coverage as well. Recap the McCallum game, give you some recaps here from the earlier contest at Lake Travis, and of course this game as well. And it's been an eventful, turnover-rich first half for these two very storied programs from different time eras, really. Westlake, obviously, the long-standing 30-year playoff run, traditional high school football brand in the greater Austin area. Steele, obviously a 12-year history as a school and an 11-year history as a football program, and they have won a lot of games, including a state championship in 2010. Time for one play out of timeout, and Anderson will hand it off here to Watson. Watson running right. Time has expired. Watson trying to get to the sideline, and does. Steps out of bounds, gaining yardage out past the 40 to the 41-yard line. And that will do it for the first half of play here. And we've got a good one in San Antonio. The Knights of Steele and the Westlake Chaparrals all tied at 14. We'll head down to the sidelines momentarily here as Abe Garcia awaits Todd Dodge. Quite a first half, but a lot of mistakes for the Chaparrals. They are the clear leader in yardage as far as stats go. And Abe now is joined by Todd Dodge. Let's take it down to the sidelines. Here's Abe.
Thanks, guys. Coach Dodge, you're out gaining them yardage-wise, but 3 turnovers that cost you the lead. 14-14, your thoughts in the first half?
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, the one on the pass down here, that was good as a punt on 4th down, so that cost us. But we fumbled a punt, and we fumbled a pass after a good, nice game, and basically set them up on short fields in both situations. So, we got to protect the football, and in any big game, that has to happen. Defensively, I think we're holding tough with them. Obviously, they've got some explosive guys on the outside. We've got to make sure we continue to be really good in coverage, which I thought we've been so far. And offensively, we got to, again, just spread the ball around.
All right, good luck in the second half, Coach. Guys.
Thank you very much. Again, that sideline report, a service of Texas Urban Realty. Here's the defensive play of the half, brought to you by Floor Centers of Texas, Austin's premier flooring store. Come test drive a floor today. And, of course, it was the fumble recovery by Jalen Reed that led to the first score. And, again, we're tied at 14. We welcome you inside the UFCU broadcast booth. Joe Taylor alongside John Nidell. Well, you heard Todd Dodge. He's not too worried about it, but when it comes to turnovers, they know they can fix the mistakes. And if there's one thing that the Westlake Chaparrals are very good at is making adjustments at the half.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Anytime Westlake has struggled in one half, they come out firing in the second. But give credit to Steele for taking advantage of mistakes. I mean, that's part of the game. Westlake made 3 turnovers, but Steele took advantage and got those 2 touchdowns on the board. They're a tough football team, tackling very well. So impressed by both teams here so far.
Enjoy our halftime programming, whether you're listening live online, whether you're listening on the Shap app or the radio, or you're watching on KBVO television. Your halftime score here from the Division II 6A Region 4 final. Westlake and Steele knotted at 14. We'll be back to the Alamodome after this. This is Westlake football.
Hey folks, Garrett Cook here at Floor Centers of Texas at our location just north of the Mueller development. We're proud to partner up with KBVO for the big game of the week in support of all high school students and their families in Central Texas. We're a locally owned family operated business with over 15 years of flooring industry experience. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or prefer to have the experts take over, Floor Centers of Texas can help. Give us a call or stop by. Our flooring experts can help you pick out the right products for your job. FloorCentersOfTexas.com or 512-989-7737.
The Floor Store with more floors to floor. Centers of Texas.
Get in and out of this. Do you have the... Yeah, let's just do that.
And the Nightlights will be performing a palm routine to Swindle Bells.
Okay, so we have the fumble and then the score. So we have the fumble and then the score, 7-0, and then the Brady. So you got the Brady touchdown. Know what's going on TV, guys.
McCallum Knights down Malacca. McCallum Knights going where no McCallum team has gone before into the state quarterfinals. And, Keith, what a start for the Knights. They get a big defensive stop, and then that running game takes over early.
Boy, it did early. They got the opportunity to get it going the first play from scrimmage, get a good run from Julian. He's just been outstanding the entire season. And then the next time, on the very next snap, he gets it. Watch this move right here. Left foot plants in the ground, and he goes north and south and finds pay dirt.
Alexander Julian over 2,300 yards on the season. So McCallum grabs a 7-0 lead, and then the defense continued to hold, but the offense looked like they were going to get ready to put it away, but Max Perez fumbles in the end zone, giving Cal Allen life.
Well, you're right. That was going to make it 17-0 at that point, but the defense again for the Knights. I think that's the story. They come up with a stop. Then here on 4th and 1, Perez comes right back. When you break that interior in a short yardage, he takes it all the way to the house.
So this makes it 17-0. McCallum looks like they are in control. Cal Allen, though, drives at the end of the half, and on 3rd and long, the defense on Cal Allen's Colton Duff takes over. But then they have to recover their own fumble, does McCallum.
Now, Masters makes a great pick right here, but watch the ball come out right here. And this was a pile, but coming out of it was a white jersey.
If Cal Allen had recovered, they would have had 1st and goal. So inside of 2 minutes to go, McCallum playing it conservatively, but they've got the game breaker in Teron Gage, and just like that, they're thinking points.
Yeah, he gets 38. He gets it out past the 40-yard line. The very next play, you're going to give it to him again. And then Perez takes over, and he makes a nice run right here, trying to slip sort of at the cutback right here, but he gets it down in field goal range.
Yeah, Max Perez over 1,000 yards on the season. Ian Carson, 2 field goals in the game and a 20-0 lead. Hard to imagine, but that's all McCallum would score.
Well, they didn't score in the second half, and here came, the emotions of the ball game. And, Cal Allen's a team. They're very proud of what they do, and finally got their running game going in the third quarter.
Yeah, midway through that third quarter, quarterback Colton Duff with the touchdown run like here. So it turns into a 2-possession game. Then it becomes all about the defense.
It does become about the defense and who can take care of the turnovers and withstand what Cal Allen kept bringing against McCallum. For me, the story of this entire ball game is the fact that the front 4 defensively and this offensive line did an outstanding job for the Knights.
There you see Max Perez starting to find tough sledding, but on the flip side, every time McCallum had to answer defensively, they were able to do it.
That's exactly right, and they stayed away from the passing game with their inside pressure, and then it came right down here to the end where they had to have a stop.
That was a 4th down stop. Jackson Masters, no doubt, the player of the game for McCallum, and the Knights headed to the state semifinals for the first time in school history.
Go ahead and let me toss to it. Let me go ahead and toss to it. That's fine. TV, where are we right now? Okay, we need to know which one. Oh, not you, Mike. TV.
Once again, Knight fans, let's get on your feet and let's get loud for your Steel Knights!
When are we in that? Okay, I need... If you're watching FloSports.com, you're looking live at the Steele High School Band. They spell out the letters SHS for Steele High School. Enjoy their halftime program if you're watching the live stream on FloSports.com. How long till we're back on television?
The Steel Band would like to wish continued success
1 minute.
to the Westlake Band.
Play the recording. Play the recording. Mike, do you have it loaded, or do you need me to introduce it? I'll do it. Give it back to me. CollegeTutors.com brings you our Shap of the Week here on our live radio broadcast and on the Shap app. And this week I sat down with junior defensive back Doak Wilson. "20 seconds till we're back on television." Will you lower the radio return?
Welcome to the halftime show.
Don't know. TV, what are we doing?
And the Eames Independent School District are proud to present the Westlake Chaparral Marching Band.
We welcome you back to our halftime coverage here live on KBVO television. Joe Taylor alongside John Nidell, and we just saw a brilliant performance by the Steele High School Band, and now the Westlake Marching Band headed to the stadium here and headed onto the field. And John, it's always part of that Friday Night Light tradition, if you will, when you get to see halftime performances, and part of the tradition of high school football, but nuances here, especially in neutral sites.
Yeah, and one of the great things, too, is that it really never changes. Some of the routines change, but parts of the routine and parts of just the entire game day doesn't change. You have people that, went to Westlake back in the 80s or 90s. They can come back to a game in 2017 and recognize a lot of the pageantry and a lot of the songs and the way things are done. So it's just part of the great tradition of Texas high school football.
We'll give you a few moments of that, and of course the celebrated Westlake Highline. Those that made the journey here will perform their halftime program as well. But let's go ahead and listen for a few minutes here to the Westlake Marching Band. Quick look at the Westlake High School Marching Band. Let's go ahead and take a quick time out here on our Felger Insurance halftime show here live on KBVO. That's the Westlake Band. This is Westlake football.
Austin's homegrown Mighty Fine does all the things required to make a truly premium burger. The meat is all natural, no hormones or preservatives, ground on site, fresh every day. Patties are hand-formed, and finally, to keep them juicy, the patties are allowed to cook naturally, never smashed or pressed down. A better burger that actually is a better burger. Mighty Fine burgers, fries, shakes.
More than any team that I've coached here at Westlake is they know when it's time to have fun and maybe joke around a little bit, and they'll snap and get right back to work immediately. And that's just part of being in the fourth year of the deal. And I don't worry so much if I see, on game day and they're a little loosey-goosey or whatever. They know how to prepare, and they know when to come back and start getting locked in and focused in.
We welcome you back to the Alamodome here. The drum line taking center stage here in the second segment of the Westlake halftime show here. Joe Taylor, John Nidell joining you here as you look live on KBVO TV and FloSports.com. And John, once again, just following up on the pomp and pageantry here, as this will be the second song for the Westlake Band. We'll go ahead and listen in to the drum line.
And now, for the Westlake Highline, under the direction of Lacey Joe and Lauren Smith, the award-winning Highline continues with a rich tradition of excellence. Your 2017 board members are President Emma Knuckles, Vice President Claire Sockwell, Public Relations Director Lucy Singletary, Spirit Director Chandler Brown,
So are we...
and Operations Director Martha McGordy.
Stand by. Just listen to me. Southwest Kia halftime recap here. This was the fumble snap here on third down, or second down rather, and then you see Taylor Anderson making some good decisions. And now the running power of Nakia Watson and John, it's been good sailing here for the Westlake offense, but again, the biggest issue right now, the turnovers for the Westlake Chaparrals.
Yeah, 219 total yards for the Westlake offense. They have moved the ball really well. It's just the 3 turnovers. The interception wasn't a big deal. It was on fourth down, and Westlake just taking a shot down the field. But the 2 fumbles, very, very costly, and it gave Steele great field position, and those are the 2 turnovers that they turned into touchdowns. And that's why we are tied at 14 right now.
Yeah, points off turnovers. Both of those touchdowns, again, the 4-yard touchdown run by Brady and the 4-yard touchdown run by Beagle, both on the board following turnovers for the Westlake Chaparrals. And we have an opportunity to bring you the halftime recap here by Southwest Kia. Brought to you by the Kia Stinger. Is a 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year finalist. Come into either location to see for yourself during Southwest Kia's year-end clearance event. A brand new Southwest Kia location opening up on the 183 frontage road just north of McNeil in the Northwest Austin area. Taylor Anderson taking some shots downfield, has some time in the passing game, John. We've seen the protection there. He's had to throw a few things each way. He's had some time to make some decisions. The pressure's been there at some point. But really, when you look at the stats, John, Steele's got a lot of work to do on the offensive side of the ball. They needed those turnovers to get where they are in this ball game.
Yeah, and Taylor Anderson, 7 of 12, 138 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception, 9 carries, 37 yards. So he's been very good in the passing game. And the Westlake defense on the other side has forced Wyatt Beagle into some mistakes as well. And but we'll just continue to say it over and over again. It's the turnovers for Westlake that is keeping Steele in this football game. And you see Brendan Brady as well. The battle of the 2 elite running backs, Nakia Watson and Brendan Brady. It's been a fun battle so far.
It has indeed, and we welcome you inside the UFCU broadcast booth. Joe Taylor alongside John Nidell. And when you look at the opportunity that Westlake has, they'll start on defense. They'll get a chance to set the tone right now as we look at the second half. Your thoughts, what Westlake needs to do besides turn the ball over. They don't need to do that again.
Right. Yeah, that's the big thing is don't turn the ball over, limit the mistakes. Westlake's going to continue to focus, and they're not going to panic. And you could just tell from Coach Dodge's comments going into the locker room that his team's fine. They just need to continue to execute, eliminate the mistakes, and Westlake so far has played better than Steele. It's just the turnovers. That's all it is.
The halftime show continues down on the field with the very popular and world-renowned Westlake Highline. Let's go down to the field, and their always entertaining halftime performance here in the holiday season of Sleigh Ride. It's the Westlake Highline. And we'll be right back after this quick timeout on KBVO television. This is Westlake Football.
first downs. And for Westlake, 25 rushing attempts, 84 yards, passing, 7 completions and 12 attempts for 137 yards. Total offense, 221. 2 lost fumbles, 4 penalties for 29 yards and 9 first downs.
Well, we welcome you back to KBVO's Football Day in Central Texas. It's brought to you by Thomas J. Henry. Injured in an accident? There's good news. Help has arrived. Thomas J. Henry is a personal injury law firm now serving Austin and the surrounding communities. Available 24/7 nights and weekends. Call Thomas J. Henry now at 512-817-1905. The Westlake Chaparrals and the Steel Knights back on the field here. We are back live on KBVO television. Joe Taylor alongside John Nidell. Abe Garcia down on the sidelines. John, it's really been a tale of really turnovers in this first half. Westlake, a ton of mistakes, but statistically, Westlake doing well on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball as well.
Yeah, Nakia Watson, 11 carries, 44 yards and a touchdown, 1 catch for 11 yards. Taylor Anderson, 7 of 12, 138, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. 9 carries, 37 yards for Taylor. Mason Mangum, 1 catch for 5 yards. Jake Ramus, 4 catches for 85 yards and a touchdown. So total yardage, 138 for Westlake, 81 on the ground for the Chaparrals, 219 total. Steele, on the other hand, 79 rushing yards. Brendan Brady leading the way, 14 carries, 77 yards and a touchdown. He also has a catch for 14 yards. And Wyatt Beagle, the freshman quarterback, 5 of 10, 37 yards and an interception. So total offense, 116 yards for Steele.
And we welcome you back if you're listening live on the radio as well on AM 1300 The Zone, and of course listening live on the Westlake Shap app and watching live on KBVO television and on FloSports.com. A true multimedia experience here for Westlake and Steele. Steele, ever the athletic ball club, tough defensively, tough on the offensive line. They showed it, and they took 2 of the Westlake 3 turnovers in for scores, and that's where we sit right now, 14 all as we gear up for the second half. Joe Taylor, John Nidell, Abe Garcia down on the sidelines, and when we get an opportunity, we'll send it to the sidelines. Abe is ready now as he gives his thoughts going into the second half.
No panic here, Joe and John down here on the sidelines for the Westlake Chaparrals, and they know they just have to execute, eliminate the turnovers. Hey, it's a tie ball game. It's 0-0. Right back where we started. They get the ball back. Hey, you guys are talking about the Cibolo Steele defense. Those ball-hawking safeties, they combined for 175 tackles, 5 interceptions, and a pick 6. So those guys can play defense. Taylor Anderson's got the ball here. Nakia Watson, Chaparrals on offense.
Thank you very much. That's Abe Garcia. They will get the ball first, will the Westlake Chaparrals, and we've seen it. Not against Smithson Valley. We saw it last week against Vela. They take the ball in the third quarter. It's this possession that sets the tone for the second half. John, we'll have to wait and see what happens here. But Westlake, known for their issues in the first half, making the adjustments in the locker room, and especially defensively with Tony Salazar.
It's going to be interesting. You know, Steele's defense, too, they're going to have to come out, and it's important for them to get a fast start, just like it is for Westlake. And they've done a good job against Nakia Watson. They've been able to hem him in on those inside carries. But Taylor Anderson has had a couple of really nice option plays. But we've mentioned it in the first half. This Steele defense is extremely good at open field tackling, and they have not allowed Westlake much room to run. And we haven't seen many big gainers for the Chaparrals.
It would be opportunistic for the Steel Knights to get better on third down, and we targeted that with the freshman quarterback. 1 of 8 on third down conversions, 3 of 5 for Westlake. So again, if there was improvements and adjustments to make on third down, passing efficiency there, when Wyatt Beagle is in that third and long situation, it's beneficial for Westlake. So it's good to establish on first and second down and try to create third and short opportunities for the freshman quarterback. So we'll kick it off again. Good luck, everyone. As it'll be O'Brien's kick, fielded by Tate make it carry Andrio. Andrio gets loose at the 30, out to the 35, and steps out of bounds. Another brilliant return. Back-to-back returns, and I believe Westlake has found their kickoff return man in Kerry Andrio. A big, big return out to the 41-yard line. Make it 42. That's a 41-yard return.
And he fits the mold, too, of a good return man. Very quick, fast. He's that slot receiver for the Westlake Chaparrals, and he's out on the field now. Westlake comes out 3 wide with Kreider and Watson in the backfield.
On first down and 10, they will move right to left. In the third quarter, 2 wide receivers each way. The handoff will go to Watson. Watson running right. Now up the gut, kind of just outside, and he pushes the pile. Tough running here for Nakia Watson. He surges for an 11-yard gain after he was hit 2 yards after the line of scrimmage. What effort there by Nakia Watson. Finally brought down by the tag team of Allenby and Cromartie, but it's a first down run on the first play for Nakia Watson.
And we talk about Westlake and their tone-setting drives and statement drives coming out of the locker room. That's a good way to start a statement drive right there.
3 wide receivers in the package here on the read option. Trying to turn the corner is Taylor Anderson, and finally bringing him down after a good gain on first down to the 41-yard line is Covey Johnson. Johnson, that defensive end, he's a hybrid defensive end and really that 4th linebacker, and he hauls down Taylor after a good gain. It's a gain of officially 6 yards. It'll be 2nd and 4 as we are just underway here in the second half. We're all tied at 14. First possession of the third quarter. Handoff Nakia Watson, stumbling forward and bouncing off tacklers, and he falls forward just shy of the first down. So it'll be a 3rd and short opportunity here, inside a yard to gain here with a change to move on the opening possession of the third quarter.
Yeah, he's getting hit at the line of scrimmage, but he's able to spin off the contact consistently tonight. And you hit him, you stand him up, but he spins off of it and just backs his way to a 3.5-yard gain. Now 3rd down and short. Probably 4-down territory, too, if Westlake was stopped here for no gain.
2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right here. The handoff will go to Watson. Watson picks up the first down with ease, bounces it outside as he gets inside the 30-yard line, down to the 26. Big run to the right behind Ayler. And Watson has the first down and more as he is just outside the 25-yard line, nose of the football, grazing that yard, 1st and 10. And up-tempo as Kreider and Watson join Anderson in the backfield. 2 wide receivers to the left, that's Andrio and Ramus. Ramus went out momentarily. Mangum is to Anderson's right here. This has been the base formation here for the Chaparrals. Rolling to his left is Anderson, firing. That pass caught by Andrio, slipped by 1 receiver. Stutter step, still alive inside the 10, and he's down to the 8-yard line. A big catch there for Kerry Andrio, and it's 1st and goal Westlake. Cromartie ends up wrapping him up there, but a big gain of 17 yards and a first down. It's 1st and goal Westlake as we're tied at 14 on the game's opening drive here in the third quarter. And just like that, the Westlake Chaparrals are in the Raising Cane's red zone.
A little bit of a misplay there by Cardwell on the outside. He was trying to possibly get an interception, but he just lost track of the ball.
Running right behind Nakia Watson on the power play here by the quarterback. Just a draw play up the middle inside the 5 goes Anderson down to the 4. So it'll be 2nd and goal and a 4-yard gain from the 4-yard line. Cromartie there to make the tackle. Cromartie's a good story as well, along with Juan Henry. Cromartie was one of those gentlemen that was elevated mid-season to the starting role, wound up being 3rd on the team in tackles. Kreider and Watson join Anderson on 2nd and goal from the 4. Handoff, Watson straight up the gut, and the tie is broken. Nakia Watson scores from 4 yards out. Touchdown Westlake. Opening drive. Statement made. Touchdown Westlake.
It's like clockwork, isn't it? It's gotten to the point where it's predictable. Westlake coming out of the locker room and starting fast with a statement drive where they are just the more physical football team. Certainly 2 weeks or 3 weeks in a row now they've done that. And a big drive coming out of the locker room. Off the 3 turnover first half to put a touchdown on the board, take the lead back over Steele.
Lozano adds the extra point, and with 9:03 to play in the third quarter, it's Westlake 21, Steele 14. This is Westlake football. KBVO television coverage of Central Texas Football Day here in the Alamodome is presented by Southwest Kia. The Kia Stinger is 2018's Motor Trend Car of the Year finalist. Come into either location to see for yourself during Southwest Kia's year-end clearance event. Joe Taylor, John Nidell back with you. Victory Bags by Kristen Chambers Designs brings you the scoring drive. A 7-play, 58-yard drive. Took 2 minutes and 50 seconds off the clock here in the third quarter. And Nakia Watson in for the game's second touchdown, for his second touchdown of the ball game from 4 yards out. Quick pop-up kick here for Lozano. It's fielded by Smith. Smith immediately corralled by Ben Pankenine. Pankenine and Wilson are Chap of the Week, getting in the mix on special teams, and they wrestle down Smith inside the 25-yard line. Let's head to the Smile Cam. All smiles after that third quarter opening drive by the Westlake cheerleaders. And of course our Smile Cam presented by Smiles by Garcia. Click smilesbygarcia.com. Your cosmetic dentist in the hills of Westlake, all over the greater Austin area. So for the Steele Knights, John, they got to answer here, down 21-14.
Yeah, Doak Wilson on that kickoff coverage just blew up one of the blockers. That disrupted the play and allowed the rest of the coverage unit to get down there and make the tackle. But great play by Doak Wilson to hold Steele here to the 24.
3 wide receivers in the package here. They hand it off to Brady. Brady waiting, and now a nice tackle made and run support by Matthew Sams is squirting forward past the 25 out to the 26-yard line is Brady. It's a 2-yard gain. Good coverage there by Matthew Sams coming up in that supported role and makes a clean, low tackle on Brendan Brady.
Only seen one breakout run in this football game from Brendan Brady. It was the 40-yarder right after the first fumble by Jake Ramus. Other than that, Westlake's defense has played very, very well.
2nd down and 8. They direct snap it here in this Wildcat formation. And yet again, Matthew Sams making it a personal mission as he comes in and knocks down Brady as he took the direct snap. But Brady gets out to the 29-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and long again. And this is what you wanted to stay away from if you were the Steele offense. Now you're putting it in Beagle's hands to go 3rd and 5 at the 29-yard line here in Steele territory. 2 wide receivers to Beagle's left, 1 to his right. They're 1 for 8 on 3rd down. Blitz, look, here they come. A quick strike, the ball is tipped up in the air. It's caught somehow by Jackson, who makes the catch and circles his way around Keaton Jones to pick up the 1st down at the 36-yard line. And I will tell you, that is one of the most impressive tip drill catches by Daniel Jackson, the 6'2", 185-pound sophomore. And even a better play, heads-up defensive play by Jones to not let him out of his sight.
Yeah, he almost broke away right there. That's just a fortunate play for Steele.
Here's the snap on 1st down and 10. Brady with the handoff, getting to the edge, but Matthew Sams is there to escort him out of bounds again. Matthew Sams and Brendan Brady going at it here. Brady with a short gain out to the 40-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 7 here for the Knights.
Well, these guys are competitors, and Matthew Sams, no one was more disappointed in the fumble that he had on the kickoff that allowed Steele to go in at the end of the first half and get a touchdown. No one was more disappointed than Matthew. So he has come out in this third quarter fired up on the defensive side of the ball.
Smith goes in motion from the right side to the left side of the formation here, and stacking up the receivers to Beagle's right is Stearns and Cardwell. They go that direction over the middle of the field on a slant route. Good defense there by Thomas Rousseau as it's intended for Stearns. And that's the first time really that Beagle has tried to go downfield. It's incomplete. Yet again, another 3rd and long situation here.
And you can make contact. Yeah, you can make contact with the receiver, which he did slightly. But if you're running with him and you're cutting him off, but you're still looking up at the football and you're running in stride, they're not going to throw the flag. Great job by the officials there. The back judge all over it. Now 3rd down and 7 for the Steele Knights.
21-14, Westlake scored on a 4-yard touchdown run by Nakia Watson, his 2nd of the game. Here's the snap. Looking left, throwing left. That pass caught from the knees at the 48-yard line there. The clock will stop momentarily to move the chains, and that's how good Caden Stearns is. He comes up gingerly, jogs off the field, but he makes the catch from his knees, and that's the 2nd straight 3rd down conversion here for Steele in their opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, he hit the ground really hard there, too. You see he's a little shaken up there on the sideline. He'll be okay, looks like.
2 wide receivers to the right, a tight end to the right, looking right, and here's the catch on the quick screen here to Onyx Smith, who's been kind of an afterthought, but he picks up positive yardage here into chaparral territory as Trellis Collins jogs back on the field for Ben Pankenine.
And it was a good block, too, on the outside by Tyron Smith, but a better job of beating the block by Thomas Rousseau.
Ball marked at the Chaparral 48-yard line here after the gain of 3 on the pass to Smith. It's 2nd and 7. 2 wide receivers to Beagle's left. Now he has a tight end that backs up, and that's Lumpkin. And now some movement here, and a big break there for Westlake as it looked like possibly Charlie Zeno had the snap count wrong, moved briefly there.
Big difference with a young quarterback between 7 yards to go and 12.
Ball start, number 68 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. We play 2nd down.
Mike Atkinson, our head referee, telling us about that pre-snap penalty. Ben Pankenine checking back into the ball game here as Trellis Collins checks out. So going with the odd stack look here on 2nd down and 12. It's a 3-3 look here for the Westlake Chaparrals. That's that versatility we were talking with Tony Salazar in our pregame coverage on the radio. 2 wide receivers left. Now they send Brady out, looking to fake the screen his direction, and now a great play there by William Robertson. The junior defensive end comes in and makes a heck of a play there as number 94 read that the whole way. Misdirection play on the screen pass, came back to the near side, and Robertson was there to disrupt and tip it away.
Yeah, that's just amazing discipline right there. I'm surprised Beagle actually threw the football. Robertson had a chance to pick off that ball, but 3rd down and 12. This is the ideal situation for the Westlake defense. We'll see if they bring a blitz. Often this season, they just trust those front 4, the front 3, to get pressure on their own.
They go once again with this 3-down lineman look. 6:19 to play. 3rd down and 12. Motion man is Onyx Smith. Back to pass, and it looks like a timeout's been called by Steele. We will take it as well. Back in a moment. This is Westlake football.
Steele. That's their first charge timeout.
KBVO's Football Day in Central Texas brought to you by Thomas J. Henry. Injured in an accident? Good news. Help has arrived. Thomas J. Henry is a personal injury law firm now serving Austin and the surrounding communities. Available 24/7, nights and weekends. Call Thomas J. Henry now, 512-817-1905. Big timeout here. Out of the break, they send Brady in motion on 3rd and 12. Here comes the rush. Dickerson misses Beagle. Beagle off to the races. Good closing speed again by William Robertson, and he knifes down the freshman quarterback inside the 45-yard line. 4th down here coming up for Steele, and a big play defensively here. After back-to-back 3rd down conversions, John, Steele's going to have to punt the ball away.
Yeah, big job there by the Westlake defense, and as soon as Beagle brings his eyes down, he's no longer looking to throw, and for a freshman quarterback to then try to look back up, that's difficult at this level, especially with as fast as Westlake's defense is. So he just tucks the football and live to fight another day, punt the ball.
Right now, there's no more focused human being in this building than Matthew Sams. Here comes the rush on the punt by Brady, and he lets the ball bounce, does Matthew Sams, and this is a brilliant punt by Brady. Starting tailback, starting punter. How about that turnaround all the way down inside the 10-yard line? It'll be Chaparral ball with a 21-14 lead. They'll start at their own 8-yard line.
And that tells me that it's in his head, honestly. I mean, he had an opportunity to catch that ball. He let it go. And that cost Westlake some yardage. But if they run the ball like they did on the first drive, it won't be an issue.
Joe Taylor, John Nidell, Abe Garcia with you live from the Alamodome. We're part and blessed to be part of KBVO's Football Day in the Alamodome. 3 Central Texas teams trying to punch their ticket to the region final. 2 of those 3 that played today are already in. On the handoff, Nakia Watson straight up the gut here, just inside the right hash mark, falls forward, out past the 12-yard line to the 14. Good gain on first down there, and Westlake is going to be in no hurry on this drive with 5:06 to play in the third quarter, up 21-14. This is where Nakia Watson and that big offensive line can really take over a ball game here, even though it is just 21-14. That's a 6-yard gain on first down. 2 wide receivers to the left of Taylor Anderson, 1 to his right, looking into the screen pass. That's Nakia Watson, makes the catch and then takes the young defender on a ride there for the Steele Knights. That's Jalen Jones, the 6'2", 175-pound sophomore. And he does a great job there defensively of just corralling Nakia as that ball got to him on time. A good closing speed there by Jones.
Yeah, loss of about 3 yards on the play.
So it'll set up 3rd down and 7. On 3rd and 7 here, 2 wide receivers left. A little flinching along the offensive line. The play clock drifting down inside 4 seconds. And now a timeout will be taken.
Timeout, Westlake.
By Westlake. We will
That's
take it as well.
their first charge timeout.
Back in a moment. This is Westlake football. KBVO's Football Day in Central Texas, presented by Thomas J. Henry. Out of the timeout, here's the 3rd and 7 play. Back to pass. Now Anderson's going to have to scamper and run across the 12 out to the 15-yard line, and he will be dropped there, well short of the first down marker here. He's down just outside the 15 at the 16-yard line. Good coverage downfield there, nobody open, and Anderson had to make a quick decision to run the football. So it's punting time here as Steele holds serve here. And it will be Gabo Lozano to kick it away here, backed up to his own 1-yard line.
Yeah, give the Steele defense credit. Their second 3-and-out force to the football game, and they should get good field position.
Lozano kicks it away. Saw more of a rugby-style punt, and this is going to take a nice Westlake bounce here. And letting it roll down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line is Reed Vender. And that's where Steele will start. So Steele holding serve there defensively. A good job there. In fact, that ball was down by, I believe it was Reed Vender, and it was. 43 yards on the punt there by Lozano, who you might remember from the Vandergrift game preserved really the district title hopes for Westlake, which all seemed lost with about 37 seconds to play. Down by 2, Lozano able to drill a 40-yard field goal to win it. A walk-off win, the second win in that fashion in 2 seasons for the Westlake Chaparrals. Of course, the big one, the fumble in the end zone by Judson a year ago in the 2015 playoffs. And now, redirecting here as he started right at the hash mark, did Brady, bounced it outside for a decent gain of about 2 yards there. John Nidell, what I like to call not just an analyst, but a part-time official up here in the booth, saw the hold immediately that was not called, and we like to keep him honest here up in the booth. Mike Atkinson and his crew did a good job, especially in a couple of touchy moments that could have spelled disaster for either team. They've been able to manage the personalities down on the field between both of these ball clubs. It'll be 2nd and 8 here, and now a pass. Brady looking to throw out of bounds. Just a little sweet play here to the right side as Matthew Sams has made it a mission he is in charge of Brendan Brady. No matter where he goes, Matthew Sams follows, and it was the pressure that drew Brady to pass, so he didn't have to accept the loss, and he threw it out of bounds. And another 3rd and long opportunity here for Wyatt Beagle. 21-14 your score. 3:44 to play in the 3rd quarter. Smith on the field here as he checks in from the sidelines. He'll be the lone receiver to Wyatt's right. Beagle has 2 receivers to his left, a tight end to his left. Out of the shotgun on 3rd and 8. Looking left, now flushed out. Here comes the rush. He throws out of bounds, and it's incomplete. More pressure from the defensive line. William Robertson along with Braden Cassidy. Braden Cassidy along with Charlie Zeno. There are some competitive dudes on this field, John.
There are, and this Westlake defense, you knew they were going to come to play again in the second half, and that's a big 3-and-out forced.
So now, punt returning for the Westlake Chaparrals will be Mason Mangum, the sophomore. He is the starting wide receiver, and for Mason, he has 2 returns this season for 32 yards as Brady will stay on the field here. Low snap, but he digs it out nicely. Almost blocked, and a flag is going to be thrown here. And this one's going to be against Westlake for running into the kicker, and here's why that's a big deal. Because the punter is Brendan Brady, but he pops up immediately. Now it's 4th and 8. So will this be a personal foul, or will this be just running into the kicker?
I think it'll probably be a personal foul.
Personal foul.
Ouch.
Roughing the kicker, number 22. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Now he was clearly going for the block there. You saw it on our ABC Home and Commercial Services instant replay.
It doesn't count as a turnover, but it basically is. That we talked to ad nauseum about the 3 turnovers for Westlake in the first half. 2 of them went for the 2 Steele touchdowns, and now Westlake will get, or Steele will get the ball inside Westlake territory,
and I understand the want and the need there to try to block a punt, but your offense is moving the football despite the last possession that the Chaparrals had. And really, when you look at that from a special teams opportunity, you have to be able to play within yourself. And despite the 21-14 lead, the Chaparrals are not really in a position to take big-time chances like that. Perhaps if it was 28-14 or a 2-score game, maybe. But you just gave the ball back to the offense here, and they give it back to him after the 15 yards in Chaparral territory at the 42-yard line. Handoff goes to Brady. Cassidy wraps him up as he crosses the line of scrimmage. He drives down for a 2-yard gain to the 40-yard line. And that's why it's so important as we describe the action, John, where we talk about just how good and powerful. Maybe Brendan Brady not as big as Nakia Watson, but still very powerful in that lower half, and he falls forward. Should be a no gain, and he picks up 2 yards. Modified pistol formation here, and the handoff will go to Brady. This time Rousseau comes in on the back end to initiate contact as he squirts forward just inside the right hash mark at the 38-yard line. So yet again, it's a 3rd and long situation here. 3rd and 6 with 2:44 to play in the 3rd quarter. The Chaparrals with a 21-14 advantage here in the 3rd quarter. Chaparrals have had 2 possessions here in the 3rd quarter. The opening possession went for a score via a 4-yard touchdown run by Nakia Watson. Here's 3rd and 7. Handoff goes to Brady, and Brady going nowhere. Drives forward for maybe a couple of yards as he floats down inside the 40, right around the 41-yard line. Excuse me, the 34-yard line, rather.
That tells me that's 4-down territory. That's why you would call that play, because you know you're going to go for it on 4th down.
It's an interesting spot of the football there because the whistle blew, and where I saw Brendan Brady was actually at the 34-yard line, and the nose of the football is at the 35. So 4th and 3. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Check with me situation here. 4 down linemen here, blitz look in the middle. On the 4th and 3 snap, looking left is Beagle. That ball is tipped, and it's a turnover on downs for the Westlake Chaparrals. Big play up front on the defensive line. And the Chaparrals will take over on offense from right there at the 45, at the 35-yard line.
And that type of play comes because they know that more often than not, this coaching staff for Wyatt Beagle, the freshman, they want to have short passes for him. And so they take the defensive ends. When they see he looks to the side, the defensive ends are coached to kind of go flare out and then get your hands up. And that's what they've done. We've seen that a lot in the second half here. And a big tip ball and a 4th down stop for the Westlake offense.
David Neal is the one that tipped that ball away. So Anderson back on the field. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Rolling right is Anderson looking to throw. Over 1 receiver, over 1 defender. That was Stearns. Stearns came up to make a play on the ball, and Taylor Anderson dropped it right behind him, complete to Mason Mangum for a big gain into Steele territory. A 1st down toss from Taylor Anderson to Mason Mangum, as you see it there on the ABC Home and Commercial Services. It's a big gain there by Mangum. They pick up positive yardage to the Chaparral 49-yard line. 14 yards on the pickup there to Mangum. And for Mangum, that's his 2nd catch for 19 yards. Now Anderson running the option play here. He stutter steps, and he's going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage, so no gain on the play. And crashing down defensively there, Juan Henry along with that Alex Allenby, the middle linebacker there. As Taylor just didn't have an opportunity to really make a decision, ran out of real estate as the ball was on the right hash, and they ran it to the short side of the field, John, and just didn't have much real estate to work with on that option pitch. 60 seconds straight up to go here in the 3rd quarter. 21-14, Westlake with the ball in the lead. 2nd down and 10. The ball marked at the Chaparral 49-yard line. 3 wide receivers to Taylor's left, 1 to his right. Anderson back to pass. Henry, blitz, picked up, fires over the middle, does Anderson, and that one is knocked away. And on the back end of that play, that is a fantastic play by Xavier Player, as he came right over the top of the receiver to knock that ball away.
Yeah, he had the outside arm, that right arm on Tate Young, but I think he did a good job of not turning the receiver. If you can have your arm on him, as long as you don't turn the receiver, you're most likely not going to get the flag. And that's a nice play and pass break up to bring up a 3rd down and 10.
College level play there by the corner, Xavier Player. 44 seconds straight up to play in the 3rd quarter. 21-14, the Chaps scored on their opening possession. Nothing for either team since. Low snap on 3rd and 10. Rolling left, firing. That pass is in and out of the hands of the would-be interceptor, Javion Cardwell. The senior and Oklahoma State commit had an easy pick there and just dropped it.
And that could have been a big return, too, all the way to the far side of the field. If he catches that, most of the Westlake offense was towards the near side of the field, and he had all his momentum going. He would have just sprinted towards his sideline, and he could have gone the distance if he caught that football.
Well, and Ramus was calling for the ball to go deep because Cardwell actually broke and jumped the route. So they're going to keep Anderson on the field for the Westlake Chaparrals, and they'll punt this ball away here on 4th and 10. It's a low snap, dug out nicely, and he's just going to line drive this one. It'll hop inside the 15-yard line, take a sideways bounce, and it'll roll to the 11. And that's where the Steel Knights will have an opportunity here with 27 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. That's a 40-yard punt there, right at his average for Taylor Anderson.
Well, it's going to be on the Westlake defense, and they have answered the call time and time again this season. And they've played well tonight. 151 total yards for the Steel Knights, 94 of that on the ground.
So it will be Wyatt Beagle, who has been under pressure here to convert 3rd downs in the first drive of the 3rd quarter. He converted 2, but 3 punts for the Steel Knights here. They hand it off to Brady. Brady trying to find some running room and does. He is drilled, but after a good game past the 20, out to the 22-yard line. And you can see Brady hasn't been able to really hit that speed button as the ball is marked between the 20 and the 21 and the 22-yard line. Nice tackle made there by Sage Luther. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down.
Probably going to take this to the 4th quarter as the clock winds down.
No doubt, as they break the huddle, but there is no time left as the referee comes in and stops the action. That'll do it for the 3rd quarter of play. Westlake scored in the opening possession. Quiet for both offenses since. Westlake leads Steele going into the 4th quarter, 21-14. This is Westlake football. We welcome you back, and of course, inside the Alamodome, our Smile Cam, presented by Smiles by Garcia, Westlake's cosmetic dentist, smilesbygarcia.com. Click on that, Google it, if you will, if you're ever in need of cosmetic dentistry. Make sure you head to Smiles by Garcia, our sponsor all season long on not only the Thursday night broadcast, but also on the Saturday night replay of Westlake football. But tonight, we are live. Joe Taylor, John Nidell, Abe Garcia down on the sidelines, Tyler Nidell, our social media producer here, along with Jacob Dedamore, our spotter, and our engineer producer, Casey Johns. Steele will move right to left in the fourth quarter here, down 7, 21-14. Going for it all down the middle of the field is Beagle. Stearns unable to get away from Colin Swallow, and Swallow, good defense there. That's the second time we've seen the home run ball on the slant route there. Just flying that direction, John, is Caden Stearns, and Swallow is able to harness him there for the incomplete pass. It'll be second down and 10 as 11:54 to go here in regulation inside the Alamodome, John. And as we were talking, the last time the Chaparrals played a playoff game here in the Dome, all the way back to the 2009 championship game. Handoff goes to Brady. Brady not much room to work with there as he crosses the 21-yard line. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's about it. Third down and 10, and this Westlake defense has done a number on running downs as they've been switching out Pankanine and Collins.
Well, Collins made the play right there. That was a heck of a stick on Brady to bring up the third down and long. This is not a passing offense. And right now, Beagle is in a passing situation.
Third down and 10 here for the Steel Knights. On third down, they are 3 of 13. Ball marked at the 22-yard line. They send Jackson in motion, and now a flag comes in before the snap.
Might be a legal substitution on Steele.
Substitution infraction on the offense. 5-yard penalty. We play third down.
So now it becomes a bigger issue here for Steele. Is John guessing correctly there?
Guessing?
I always tell everybody that your guesses are always educated, so it's a given that they're educated guesses.
It helps when you see one of the officials on the field motion illegal substitution.
So you're cheating. Outstanding. We thank all of you for joining us again in a Saturday afternoon and evening without college football outside of the Army-Navy game. We know everybody back in Austin is sitting back and watching this one, and it's going to be a thriller here at the end. 21-14. Back to pass is Beagle, and Beagle is sacked back at the 10-yard line. Big play there. Nice rush. And a guy that went to visit Wisconsin, Braden Cassidy, didn't get to play last week, finally got the surge he wanted, and he wraps up the freshman quarterback for a big sack, and it's punting time for Steele.
And this Westlake defense has really come to play here, not only in this game, but definitely in this second half. As the Steel Knights.
And of course, KBVO's Football Day in Central Texas, brought to you by the good folks at Southwest Kia. The Kia Stinger is a 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year finalist. Come into the either location to see for yourself during Southwest Kia's season-end clearance. And now punt gets away for Brady, and another good one here for the senior tailback slash punter, as Mangum just retreats and let that ball roll to the 35-yard line. So good punt there, 54 yards for Brendan Brady.
Yeah, Westlake's got to figure out something on the field, on the returning of punts or fielding of punts, even if it's just a fair catch, which is what they've done for the most part. You got to make some catches here on the punts. You're losing a lot of field position.
10:15 to play here in regulation. 21-14. First down and 10 at the 35-yard line. Westlake moves left to right here. They are the home team in their red jerseys. Handoff will go to Watson. Watson bouncing off one tackle, falling forward out to the 39-yard line. A big gain of 4 yards there on first down, and that's exactly the recipe here in the fourth quarter. The Chaparrals won on offense. As you knew coming into this game, this was going to be very tough. Westlake's made it a little easier with all the mistakes with the 3 turnovers in the first half. Now with a back on either side, Anderson back to work. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right here on 2nd and 5 officially. And now running straight up the gut here, falling shy of the first down marker at the 44-yard line is Nakia Watson. Rodriguez there out of his linebacking position to make the tackle. We invite all of you to follow us on Twitter at Westlake_Nation. Everybody hijacking the old Twitter account today to update scores. Of course, we're on Facebook and Instagram as well. Just search Westlake Nation. Handoff here on 3rd down. Nakia Watson picks up the first down across midfield, rumbling his way down to the 47-yard line, dragging Stearns with him as Caden makes the tackle, but not before Nakia picks up positive yardage to the Steele 48-yard line. Gain of 7 yards on the play. It'll be first down at 10. 2 wide receivers to the right here for Anderson. 1 to his left. Kreider to his left. Watson to his right. Out of the shotgun. Inside 9 minutes to play. Handoff. Nakia Watson. Watson crosses the 45-yard line. And he's down to the 44. 4-yard gain there for Watson as he's no doubt going to be the bell cow here in the 4th quarter. This is exactly the kind of drive that Todd Dodge envisioned when he gave Nakia all that time off in some of the blowout wins in the back half of the district season, saving him for moments like this. 2 wide receivers each way here, 8.5 minutes left. Rolling right is Anderson, looking to throw. The option toss, and the ball is loose. And once again, the Chaparrals have turned over the football. Wow. A mistake that you could not make is made. And just like that, the Westlake Chaparrals have turned the ball over 4 times.
And that's just a fantastic defensive play. Probably you can't blame Anderson for pitching the football.
Jalen Jones came in and just speared that ball out of Nakia's hands. That's his 2nd fumble.
Jalen Reed did a great job of taking Anderson. He forced Anderson to pitch the football, and Jones was right there. Just great disciplined defense by Steele to take both the quarterback and the pitch man, and they force a huge turnover.
So now with some momentum and 8:20 to play, the goal backfires here on the 4th turnover of the ball game for the Westlake Chaparrals. They still lead 21-14, but the defense is back on the field. 3 wide receivers to the right. Handoff. Brady wrapped up as he crosses the line of scrimmage. He gets to the 49-yard line before he goes backwards. And Braden Cassidy, along with Jake Ellinger, right there in the middle of the defense. And when this game's over, you're going to look at the difference in this ball game. And should Westlake win this game in spite of their offensive miscues, John, you're going to look at plays like that, limiting Brady to 2 yards on first down.
Yeah, this defense is very, very good, and you got to get back on the field and respond once again.
Now with an athletic move there, Stearns trying to make his case to make a positive move here on offense. He's been playing well defensively. Thought he might have gone down and at the 49-yard line, but they're going to say he did not. Here's a look at the replay again.
Maybe the wrist right there, the back of the hand.
But he
the back of the hand, I
forward.
believe, assuming the wrist hits, he would be down, but that's a close call to make.
Another 3rd and 4 opportunity here for Wyatt Beagle. 2 wide receivers to his left. Big defensive play here. Handoff, Brady running right side. Matthew Sams there to make the tackle, and it's behind the yard to gain to move the chains. Tackle made inside the 45-yard line at the 44, and it's a 4th down opportunity here, 4th and 1. And John, I know what you're saying. Go for it. Only 6 minutes and 52 seconds remain in this one, and Steele's got to come up with a score here to stay in the ballgame.
Westlake stopped Steele on a 3rd down and short earlier. We'll see if they can do it on 4th down right here.
Under center is Beagle. They send a man in motion. That's Smith. They pitch it to the left side, and the ball is loose. The ball is loose. Brady picks it up at midfield, and he is going to be stopped. Oh, a huge break for Westlake as a fumble by Brady on the exchange on the pitch out. And he goes down at the Steele 49-yard line, make it the Westlake 49. Connor Kelly there to stop him, and a big break for Westlake because there was a lot of real estate in front of a man named Brady.
Oh, there's no doubt that's a first down if he catches that football. And wow, what a big play. We've talked about some of the miscues for Westlake tonight. The 4 turnovers, the roughing the punter. but that one is huge in this game. Gives Westlake the ball at midfield.
So a short field here, and the offense with an opportunity for some redemption. 6:25 to play in regulation. Westlake with the lead on the turnover on downs. Handoff Nakia Watson. Watson shreds the defense at the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Forget about it. Watson into the end zone. A 50-yard run and his third touchdown run of the game. And Westlake is on the board. A turnover on downs. One play, 50 yards, and Nakia is into the end zone. Touchdown, Westlake.
And that is, we talked about it early in the game. The second half, the third and fourth quarter is Nakia Watson time. Well, it absolutely has been tonight as well. 11 carries, 105 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That one puts Westlake up 2 scores with 6:15 remaining in the game.
Ryder on to hold out of the snap of Erline. Lozano will add the extra point. It's good. 6:15 to play here, and the Shaps lead 28-14. We'll be right back. This is Westlake football. KBVO's Football Day in Central Texas brought to you by Thomas J. Henry. Were you injured in an automobile accident? Thomas J. Henry can help. Call now at 512-817-1905. We welcome you back inside the Alamodome after the fourth down miscue, the fumble by Brady. Brady able to recover at the 50-yard line, and a 50-yard run right after that fourth down. So it's just as good as a turnover, and the air conditioning has blown over the ball. As we are indoors, no wind to speak of, John, as Lozano will tee up the ball correctly here at the 40-yard line. So we're having fun on KBVO TV, AM 1300 The Zone, and of course on the Shap app and on Flow Sports. They punch up the kick here, does Lozano, and it's called, it's caught rather by Cardwell. And Cardwell will make the catch at the 36-yard line. So now 6:15 remaining after that one-play 50-yard drive. Nakia Watson's third rushing touchdown of the ball game. And of course our scoring drive presented by the good folks at Kristen Chambers Designs. Again, the Alamodome is a clear bag policy stadium, as is NRG Stadium, as is AT&T Stadium. So if the Chaparrals are able to move on, you got to have a clear bag. For security reasons, headed into the Alamodome, headed into NRG Stadium, and headed into AT&T Stadium.
Westlake's defense has held Brendan Brady in the second half, 12 carries for 27 yards. He had 77 on 14 in the first half. Just goes to show you how well this defense has played. Only 43 total yards allowed in the second.
Smith in motion here, and he stays in stride. Rolling right is Beagle, firing that pass behind Smith, but he makes the catch. Wow, what a grab there, and he is right at the sticks, and it'll move for Smith as Tyron comes up with a nice catch there, as he was the motion man, and he never broke stride as the snap happened. Beagle found him for a 10-yard pickup, and it's first down at the Steele 48-yard line.
Yeah, only 15 catches coming into this game for Tyron Smith, and a really nice grab there as the throw was inside.
Pistol formation, now the play action, looking left is Beagle. Flushed out, running left, fires left. That pass is nowhere close to complete, and a big hit at the back end of that play by David Dickerson, the senior captain, 5'10", 190 pounds, lowering the boom on Beagle, who gets up slowly, comforted there by Stanley Mark. And we said coming in that Beagle was going to be the X factor here if Steele was going to be successful. Westlake has helped the cause there with turning the ball over 4 times, and it's led to 2 scores here by Steele, but Beagle roughed up on that one.
Yeah, it's a great example of you can make a clean, legal hit in football and still make the opposing player feel it. And Wyatt Beagle feeling that hit from Dickerson. 2nd down and 10 now. This is the danger zone, down 14. Now they kind of need to throw the football, and they're going to be forced to take a timeout. That could be costly later in the game.
Steele.
That's their second.
That's their second charge timeout.
We'll take it as well. Back in 60 seconds. This is Westlake football. To District 25 6A against District 27 6A here in the region final. As Steele out of the timeout, their second of the half. Here's the snap on 2nd and 10. Beagle going downfield, has a man, and he overshoots him by about 3 yards. But what a step right there by the open receiver, Daniel Jackson, the sophomore. We remember Jackson from earlier in the broadcast, who caught an amazing tip drill for a 1st down back in the early 3rd quarter, I should say, in the opening possession for Steele. Joe Taylor, John Nidell, Abe Garcia with you here. We'll get to Abe as possession changes when we have an opportunity. Of course, our sideline reports presented by Texas Urban Realty. Make sure you Google that for all of your home and commercial real estate needs. On 3rd down and 10, another 3rd and long opportunity. Beagle is going to be wrapped up from behind, and this time it's David Neal. So Cassidy has one on 3rd down, and now Neal has one on 3rd down. Beagle in this drive roughed up big time by the Westlake defense.
And Braden Cassidy, we talk about that foot sprain. He is limping heavily right now on that right foot. That's not good as we look forward if Westlake advances.
Now, one of the things that you need to know there is he's roughed up, like John said, but he's got a fiberglass insert that is helping with that foot injury. So when he's walking, it actually looks like he is limping, but he's visibly shaken up there as Trellis Collins replaces him at the defensive tackle position. On 4th and 16, Steele has to go for it, down 14. And it looks like they're going to call a timeout again.
Delay a game.
They're going to say it's a delay game.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Well, you can tell now that Wyatt Beagle in this inexperience is starting to shine, but we have to talk about just how good he's been today, because he's been under pressure, and the Westlake defense have been doing their job on 1st and 2nd down on this big offensive line. But in this drive, he has been roughed up, and that's his first delay of game. And this is a tall order for Wyatt Beagle against a very difficult Westlake defense.
Yeah, we knew coming in that was going to be, what Westlake could feast on and probably have a lot of success on the defensive side of the ball.
End-over-end punt here by Brady, and it's going to be caught by Mangum, who does not signal for the fair catch. Mangum across the 35, stays on his feet as he turns over to the left hash mark, and he's tackled there out past the 35-yard line. They'll down him at the 37. And Mangum did not call for fair catch. And he muscled his way around there, and a nice job in the open field just getting around Tyler Lumpkin. And then Cromartie comes down and drags him from behind. So good field position here for the Westlake Chaparrals, up 28-14. And John, no need to be any kind of prognosticator. No need to be a genius here to figure out what's about to happen here. Steele has 1 timeout left. Westlake has 2 timeouts left. Nakia Watson right now in the second half, 11 carries, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he gets the call on 1st down. Rumbles out past the 38 to the 39-yard line, and they will mark him down in between the 39 and the 40. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You ride number 25 when you have a 2-touchdown lead and the clock is rolling. Wisconsin bound Nakia Watson. He's going to fit that offense perfectly.
And Westlake wasting all the time they want to as they let this play clock dive down inside 6 seconds, and Nakia Watson gets the handoff, angles around Stearns as he spins inside along the hash mark and forces his way out to the 42-yard line. Good gain there by Nakia as Watson picks up 3 for the effort. Ball basically resting right at the 43-yard line inside that right hash mark.
Steele already burned 2 of their timeouts, just 1 remaining, so they can't really stop the clock on this drive.
On the handoff, right up the middle goes Nakia Watson. He has first down yardage across midfield. And Cromartie finally brings him down as he races inside the 45-yard line to the 43. As we're inside 3 minutes to play here, a 15-yard run on third down for Nakia Watson, and the clock continues to move. 28-14, Westlake with the lead.
At this point, it just kind of looks easy for Nakia Watson. Mentioned it in the first quarter. That's what happens. The defense wears down, and they don't look as willing to come up and make a shot on number 25.
Inside 2:20 to play here. 2 wide receivers to Taylor's right, but they're going to run the ball. Again, it goes to Nakia. Nakia inside the 40, bouncing off the tackler. He fumbles the football, and I believe it bounces right back into his hands at the 35-yard line. And after not fumbling the ball all season, Westlake has a fumble against Smithson Valley. They fumbled here today on an option pitch. That's the second time Nakia Watson's fumbled on an offensive, on an option play, John, here this season, and both of them have happened in the playoffs.
Now let's hope that Westlake has all their fumbleitis out of their system in this game, as they likely are a minute 40 away from a game against Cy-Fair next week.
So on 2nd and 2 after the 8-yard gain, again Nakia getting the call. Nakia inside the 30 picks up positive yardage, and inside the 30-yard line down to the 25. It's a 10-yard run once again on 3rd down, or 2nd and 2 rather, and the chains move. And we are down to the final 90 seconds here, and the crowd here that drove down I-35 to see this one in the Alamodome very, very happy, as Westlake has a 2-touchdown lead, and more importantly, they have shut out Steele's offense here in the second half.
And with 1 timeout, this game is mathematically over, as long as they don't fumble a snap here. And you can see Anderson, they're getting in the victory formation here.
So Anderson will see his rushing yardage plummet briefly as he'll take a knee at the 31-yard line. And the final minute is underway as Westlake will punch their ticket to the state semifinal game here in Region 4. They will take on Cy-Fair for the opportunity to play in the state championship game. Steele has taken a timeout. We will keep it here. Let's go down to the sidelines at Abe Garcia. Abe, a tough, mistake-ridden ball game, but in the end, defense wins ball games, and that's exactly what Tony Salazar's squad has done today.
One of the things we talked about, Steele actually was going to be very good defensively, held Westlake for only 28 points. We've been scoring 51 points a game since the Vandergrift, the Lake Travis game, and they've held them to 28 points. But the Westlake Chaparral's defense are the ones that actually answer the bell in the second half. Coach Dodge is very confident in this team, especially the defensive side of the ball. They've been able to hold serve over and over again. Turnovers by Westlake, muff punts, everything like that. And Westlake still answer the bell. Shut out in the second half to lead this team to victory. And next week down in Houston at NRG Stadium against Cy-Fair.
47 total yards for the Steele Knights in the second half. As you mentioned, just an unbelievable job by Tony Salazar and this Westlake defense in the second half.
Out of the snap, and that should do it. There's only a 10-second difference between the play clock and the game clock. So they'll have to take one more knee as the ball goes back to the 34-yard line. But this should wrap everything up here for the Westlake Chaparrals. They'll bring everybody back. They'll probably have to one more play. The only person not happy about this is Taylor Anderson rushing yardage, and that's about it. And he'll take one final knee, and that'll do it. Westlake victorious. It's all handshakes and high fives at this point. We'd like to thank everybody for joining us here on the KBVO television broadcast. as Westlake comes into the Region 4 final here in the 6A Division II rank. And up in Steele, 28-14. Live from the Alamodome, we have seen 3 Austin teams invade San Antonio. All 3, the McCallum Knights, the Lake Travis Cavaliers, and now the Westlake Chaparrals head in to the state semifinal game against Cy-Fair next weekend at NRG Stadium.
In that fourth quarter for Westlake, 0 passing attempts for the Westlake Chaparrals. They did it with the legs of Nakia Watson and the defense. As I mentioned, 47 total yards given up in the second half. Just a dominating performance once again by the Westlake D.
And we will go down to the field momentarily here for Todd Dodge.
Some of the adjustments they made, the adjustments we made, they just came out, ran the ball a little bit, and we, there was a couple missed tackles here and there, but I'm extremely proud of our team, the way we, the adversity we had early on in the year, and then, giving ourselves a chance to come out here, and it just didn't go our way tonight.
What do you say to your team after?
You're listening to the post-game thoughts of David Sines.
I tell them,
they're
I hope they
coming
learn
over
something
the
more than
air
football.
right now. But again, it's all handshakes and high fives as Steele sees its season come to an end. 9-5 is how they finished. Not bad for a team that started 1-4. And we'll have the post-game thoughts of Todd Dodge here in just a moment.
Against you here, there.
We'd like to thank all of the sponsors here today, of course. The good folks, Thomas J. Henry, Personal Injury Law Firm. Of course, McDonald's, along with ABC Pest and Lawn. Huge victory here for the Westlake Chaparrals, and we go down to the sidelines at Abe Garcia. Abe?
Thanks, Coach. Congratulations. Big.
It's the whole group,
Your team answered the bell.
I tell you what, so proud of our defense, so proud of our running game, so proud of our entire football team. We went back, kind of to the beginning of the season and what was our strength, and that was playing great defense, and that was leaning on number 25. We kind of overcame ourselves. It's not like us to turn the ball over 4 times, and we got to quit that. But I want to say congratulations to Steele, to Coach Sines, for a team to be 1-4 after 5 games and to come all the way back the way they did. They showed a lot of character this season. So I want to congratulate them on a great year.
Coach, your defense, talk about your defense. One of the best defenses you guys have faced probably in the last couple of years. A lot of ball players. But your team answered the bell. Talk about your defensive line up front and able to put Steele as a one-dimensional team.
Yeah, it was a deal where they want to run the ball. That's one of the biggest offensive lines in the state of Texas, and our defensive front, which again has been a strength of ours all season long, just really, really stepped up tonight. Just so proud of our entire team. Tony Salazar and our defensive staff to be able to throw a shutout in the second half is a big deal against that team.
We apologize. We've got
when and where we play next week?
We will play against Cy-Fair at 3 p.m. at NRG Stadium in Houston on Saturday. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. That is Abe Garcia down on the sidelines, and our CyberTechs Institute of Technology play of the game. Of course, this is the one that broke it all open. Nakia Watson from 50 yards out as our CyberTechs Institute of Technology start a career in less than a year. We welcome you back inside the UFCU broadcast booth. Joe Taylor, John Nidell. John, well, we knew that running the football would win the game for Westlake. We knew that playing defense and defending the run against Brendan Brady would. That has happened despite 4 turnovers in the ballgame. Westlake emerges victorious. They win the Region 4 final championship, and it's on to Cy-Fair in the state semifinal game. They make the Final Four.
Yeah, I think one of the most encouraging things is the fact that they had the 4 turnovers, and they overcame it. And they overcame it with Nakia Watson in the second half. 143 yards on the ground for Watson. And then the defense was incredible. 47 total yards given up in the second half. They just played lights out, and they answered the bell. Anytime the offense made a mistake and gave the football back to Steele, the defense went out there and shut down Steele. The Knights could not do anything in the second half.
And as we leave you with highlights, again, it was an eventful day here at the Alamodome. We remind you that 3 Central Texas teams advances here at the Alamodome. McCallum victorious over Cal Allen. Lake Travis victorious over O'Connor. And now Westlake completing the trifecta with a 28-14 victory. We leave you with highlights here as Westlake moves on to the state semifinal. For John Nidell and Abe Garcia, I'm Joe Taylor. Stay tuned for our postgame coverage on the radio, but that'll do it here as we leave you with highlights at the Alamodome. Westlake beating Steele 28-14. This is Westlake football.